I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gonna live it up on the attack. Baby, I'm bad, I just wanna get caught up in this life. I'm crazy, I'm mad, doing no cap. Only God wants you, better go live it up. Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Baby, I'm bad, baby, I'm bad.
I just wanna stay bad, stay mad. Chip on my shoulder cause they treat me like an outcast. I ain't gonna take that, stay back. I'll be swinging on till the hits come in all caps. I ain't gonna lay back, pray that someone's gonna help me. Ain't nobody like that. I ain't gonna wait, that's all fact. Give me one shot and I'll never get the throne back.
What up, everybody? Happy Saturday night from the great state of Michigan, where you are never less than 85 miles from any lake.
Woohoo!
What's happening,
everybody?
Yeah, them days are over. It was overrated. Let me do a quick rundown. We have Ron Brown was in first, well, after me. Curmudgeon in from Alaska. Nice to see you. Great channel, you guys. Go check him out. He just made he took an old whiskey barrel and used it to hide his water tank, and then had a giant hunk of burl, made a top for it.
Who's this?
Curmudgeon in.
Oh, nice. Curmudgeon in Alaska.
Curmudgeon.
Uh-huh. I know
Alaska.
that's got me cooked already.
He said curmudgeon in.
I can't go to Alaska, Stevie.
Sure you can. Never seen that.
Well, if I do, I won't come back.
I was about to say I can go. I just can't guarantee that I would leave.
All right.
Yeah,
Probably because my ass froze to death.
Oh, that's right. You and temperatures.
That wouldn't even bother me, because I'm not a beach person. You know, I can't sit on a beach and bake in the sun for 9 hours and enjoy myself.
Right.
I'm not trying to die of skin cancer.
No, but what my point is that so I'm fat. I don't like 85, 90, 95 degree humidity. You know what I mean?
I'm there with you. You're preaching to the choir.
I'd rather have 70 degrees.
Right.
Granted,
Geraldine, what's up, buddy?
Oh, I interrupted your thing. I'm sorry.
Everybody on the panel, the guy with his hand on his head with this look of wonderment on his face, Mr. Mike DeLucia. What's up, brother?
Hi, folks. Sorry I don't have a hat on tonight.
The lady next to him with them two sexy ass pistols on her icon, Miss Gunpowder Beauty.
Hey, y'all.
Girl.
Not much. Thanks for having me.
What's up, kid?
Down below her, looking up, we have Steve and Shalisa. What's up, girls and boys?
Hi.
Hello.
Doing a Brady Bunch bit here.
And in the corner, all by his lonesome with the fan running, Mr. Ohio Wolverine. Long shooter extraordinaire.
Yeah, long shooter.
With his famous can't buy bullets rifle. Just saying.
Right. Hey, did you see what's below my name? You see that? Did you see that there, Stevie?
No, it's too tiny. Just saying.
I'm celebrating 10,000 subscribers.
Wow.
That is fucking awesome.
Congratulations. That's
Fucking crazy.
Awesome.
Big time.
Oh, and speaking of celebrating, I almost hit mute. We hit 2,000 finally.
Yeah.
Multi-gunman, glad to see you. How you doing? Yep, so now we'll start getting 15,000 views at a time. Uh-oh. And last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, the person we're all here to see is Dish Outdoors.
Yay!
Yay!
Hello, beautiful.
What's up, girl?
Thank you. I'm good. Thank you.
How's your mother doing?
She's doing pretty good. Thank you.
How was the movie?
It was good.
Yeah.
What movie did you watch?
We watched a Hallmark movie.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Gotta love,
What's that
gotta love
They had
Hallmark
that, they
movies.
had that one girl. Hang on, let me guess. Was it during Christmas or just after Christmas?
It was Aurora Tea Garden Mysteries.
I thought I
Oh,
smelled like liberal
So it
ideas.
wasn't like big city girl goes back to her hometown, the small hometown that she's from, and then runs into the lumberjack guy that she was in love with when she was a kid, but
That's what
found
they're
out that he
all
recently is
about.
divorced and he has a nice dog. So it wasn't that plot.
That was it,
Hey,
probably, yeah.
hey, if you're gonna talk about lumberjacks, you gotta put the respect on it. They're called lumber snacks.
Lumber snack.
Yeah, okay, whatever.
Condolences, Gerald B. Lost a member of the family. His oldest dog died last night. That's a bummer.
Oh, I'm
Oh,
so
man.
sorry.
I'm sorry.
My niece's beagle
17
died
years
this
old.
week.
That's amazing.
That's a good life.
Sorry to hear that, Jezzo.
That's how long my
I'm sorry to
You-
hear that, though.
You know what? I'm sorry to hear it too, but I'll tell you, my wife is out of town right now, and our dog is
Smart woman.
fucking miserable. He's terrible. He just lays around and goes and whines. It's like, oh my god, she'll be back, dude. I mean, he forgets that she's gone when it's time to eat, or someone opens a cheese wrapper. But the minute
Yeah.
he gets a little bit of it, he goes back to laying on his bed and just like and whining. Yeah.
Listen, it's because
Man's best friend, my ass.
Yeah, woman's
he's
best
sat
friend.
there and seen who he's left in the house with, and he's like, these motherfuckers ain't gonna give me no belly rubs. They're not gonna scratch me behind my ear. These selfish motherfuckers. Next time,
Bullshit.
bitch, you better take me with you. I'm
Bullshit.
mistreated in this house.
I'm the one that always gives him the belly rubs and the rub behind the ears and stuff.
I rub this.
Yeah, my wife's the one. What it is over the years,
Oh, I'm
she's
sorry.
the
I
one
just
that's
saw
like,
the fucking weather report.
you like put the food in the dish and then hit the spoon on the side of the dish to get the residents off there or whatever. And that's like a dinner bell for him. He hears that, bam, he's coming. And he knows it's her. I did it the other day and he like come flying down the steps and he walked in the kitchen. He seen me and he was just like, oh.
Just
Yeah,
I'll look
he's
afterwards.
he's like, oh, you fucking, you tricked me, asshole. You know, but I'll go ahead and eat while I'm down here, you know.
Probably trotted right back up there and peed on the corner of your bed.
Probably.
Just I was in
That's funny.
Definitely used some dark shampoo on my hair. Suddenly I feel like
Accidentally?
such a good boy.
Oh, this is
Too funny.
I got it where I used to work. I got a girl one time. I was like, my God, I was like, my jaw's starting to hurt again. She's like, what's wrong with your jaw? I said, man, when I was a kid, I got bit by a dog and I ended up with dog jaw.
Yeah.
And every once in a while it acts up. You get this big knot right here. She's like, what? I'm like, yeah, feel it. And she goes to put her hand out and I'm like, ah, like I was going to bite her. She fucking like knocked her coffee over and like fell out of the chair and everything. She was like, God damn you. Scared the hell out of me. I thought you were turning into a dog or something.
Everybody say hi to Susie. She's at her mom's house, taking care of the house.
Hey, Susie.
Hey, Susie.
Oh, she called me sweetheart. She
I
didn't
know. No, she's talking to me.
Steve, I would tell you, brother, the secret to building your channel right now is fucking short. I got all those subs from the short.
I got a couple.
He's not talking about short videos. He's talking about shorts. You got to wear the shorts to get the views.
Hey, listen,
Gotta put them legs up, baby.
Thank you for that fucking visual of seeing Ohio in a pair of shorts.
You're welcome. You're so very welcome. Sharing is caring.
So you're saying from now on, Susie needs to be scantily clad in order to build the channel?
That's okay.
You do. Nothing
Your
like
channel.
seeing a man
You got to be
running a chainsaw
scantily
and some
clad.
cut off shorts with the pockets hanging out.
Dude,
if you got some cut off jeans with the front pockets that hang out.
Huh?
Ooh, damn.
Yeah, the Daisy Dukes, man. You guys got to wear
Yeah.
Dukes.
with no underwear.
some cut off jeans with make sure the pockets are hanging out the front, and out there with a tank top and a bandana sawing on a tree, buddy. That will get you some views.
Gotta be cut so short that your pockets are hanging out the bottom.
Daisy Dukes don't have no room for underwear. Just saying. All right, so I'll get Susie out there chopping on a log, bent over in slow motion, I guess.
Oh, you do.
I'll wear my Daisy Dukes on my OnlyFans page, all right?
I got a Patreon account.
Hey, that guy that used my video, Steve, never commented back or anything.
Well, go figure.
I don't think he even gave me a heart like he did the other ones.
That's bad. Somebody uses your video, you at least deserve recognition.
Here's
and a couple more subs.
There's your hearts for you.
Everybody prepared for the apocalypse?
No, my wife went on vacation without me, and I've already ate all of our damn fucking survival food. The only thing I got left is a little bit of chocolate-covered raisins.
And it looks like you're at the bottom of that.
Mm-hmm.
We're trying. And we're not thinking apocalypse. We're thinking, shit's going to get shut down. Speaking of which, anybody experience the AT&T power outage?
No.
I did, but I was asleep most of the day, so I didn't really know.
My parents had it.
It was more than just AT&T. They're keeping a hush hush on their other companies that. What was there was something else.
They say, I watched a couple channels today, they're going to claim that it was a solar flare.
Right.
But I find it really funny. There's a balloon that flew all the way over Colorado. They intercepted it over Idaho, I think, down towards Texas. And now they said it's suddenly changed direction and it's heading for the East Coast. And
why haven't we seen it shut down already?
It's not as big as the other ones. So they're saying, don't worry, it's no threat.
Please send it over to the city of Boston. I'd love nothing better to watch the fireworks of every fucking gun owner in that fucking city, legal or not legal. Watching people fucking taking pot shots at that thing.
What, all three of them?
Yeah, all three of them. You don't have them at the Boston, have you? I said legal or not legal. There's more non-legal guns in the city of Boston than are legal.
Well, there's going to be more because
between the mafia and the fucking street gangs.
Minnesota is going for the registration bullshit now, joining Illinois.
Anyways, you know what's pissing me off, Stevie?
Everything?
Joe B's going to hate my guts. I took Monday off, this coming Monday, because I was going to drive to Maine tomorrow morning. Stay over. Ice fish Sunday, Monday. Nope.
Not happening?
Not happening.
Oh, no.
Not happening.
Bummer.
No, I got shit going on with the boy and everything else. Yeah, they have. How do you say your name? Kermudge?
Aren't you from that, up in that direction, Kermudge?
Oh, you're from the East Coast, Kermudge?
It says in Alaska.
Well, that's where they're.
It could be a transplant.
I thought I heard him say something about Boston or something.
New Hampshire.
Oh Lord, Mike's.
You from New Hampshire? Nice. I have a place in New Hampshire, over in a little town called Well, people from New Hampshire call it Gilmanton, but us people from Boston call it Gilmanton.
Lost gunpowder.
Yep.
Born and raised in Derry. Jesus Christ. You're 20 minutes away from me.
Oh, so he'll understand your words with no R's in them then, right?
I'm 20 miles, 20 minutes south there. I'm right on the border. I'm in Drake, Mass, right beside Methuen, Mass. What's the recipe for chloroform again?
You guys were pretty much fucking neighbors.
Neighbor.
Derry, New Hampshire's legit 20-minute ride. I got
Really?
a cousin that lives. I got a cousin that lives in Derry.
No, don't worry. He's in Alaska now and probably never, ever, ever coming
Don't look
back.
back at the Granite State. Just move on forward to the big state.
Yeah, that balloon had the full solar panels underneath it and then a 2-foot square box. And they said, oh, don't worry, it's nothing. They have no idea where it came from.
Well, of course it came from China.
Oh, that's cool, Kamuch.
I don't know. I think they're launching them out of Russia or something, or Canada. You got to watch them Canadians.
They're probably launching them from a fucking ship off on the Pacific Ocean there, just off our coast. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But I can't believe our government just watched it. You know, it's okay.
You know what worries me? We're turning this into conspiracy corner tonight, I guess. But
Let's go there.
you know what worries me is like hearing the news that Jeff Bezos sold most of his stocks in Amazon, and what's his face? Mark Zuckerberg sold most of his stocks in the Meta or Facebook or whatever. And you got people like Mark Zuckerberg, Jeff Bezos, George Soros, stuff like that, all building these fucking like underground
Bunkers.
security bunkers and shit, and they're not even hiding it. You know what I mean? It's not like they're like keeping it top secret. They're like fucking, it's out there where they're building it and like, of course, they've been buying land up in Hawaii, like the whole Maui thing that you talked about, Steve.
Yeah, it's really cheap now.
So they've been buying all the land up there and building. I think Zuckerberg's bunker is in Hawaii. I don't know. It just kind of uneased my nerves a little bit when you hear all these people selling all their stocks on their own company. Well, it just means that something's about to happen that they know. You know, like the stock market crash or something.
Well, Dr. Phil, everybody knows who Dr. Phil is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's now gone in deep with the border crisis and doing research and this, that, and the other. He came up with a map. Last year, over 30,000 illegal Chinese immigrants come across the border. And somehow or another, they're getting approved for loans. I went down this rabbit hole the other night. And they're buying up land. And every place they're buying land just so happens to be around an American military base.
They just bought up a ton of acres in Oklahoma.
Jesus,
a lot of Oklahoma stuff is going into pot farms. So
I'm glad they won't be able to do that around here because they're not going to get anywhere near the one down the Cape. They're not going to get anywhere the one in fucking Portsmouth, New Hampshire. They ain't getting fucking close to nowhere.
Well, let me tell you something, Mike. I seen the maps.
No, I believe you. All I'm saying is around here they won't be able to because guess what? First of all, there's no land to buy up here near any one of those areas because guess what? They're already taken up with houses.
Well,
yeah, but that's okay.
I'm telling you, I seen the map and the dots went right up the East Coast.
They got your guys as governors and mayors and stuff to try to convince all you citizens to take them in, like they're fucking army barracks or something. Trying to get the citizens of the suburbs to ease some of the pain on Boston and accept some of the illegal aliens in their homes and host them.
It won't happen.
It's already happening.
Yeah, well,
a Scottish American. What's up, brother? Nice to see you.
It's not going to happen with certain people. Not my town's all fucking. The town I live in, thank God, is predominantly Republican. So, in my town, they're not going to come to my town. Trust me.
Yeah. In the more liberal cities, though, And it was so cute watching that well-to-do lady. You could tell by her house.
And they're all
It's so great. It's like having my own private chef because she likes to cook.
Right.
no. The airport's still flooded with people, I heard. So, but I don't really pay attention to it because I just don't want to get upset. So,
You know, if you go to the airports, they have a different line for illegals.
yes, because they have to process them.
No,
They
can
don't.
get on any fucking plane anywhere they want for free and just fly. They don't even get checked.
They don't even need ID.
Well,
Don't even need ID to fly.
I seen that look on Dish's face when I said that about the lady, and Dish was thinking, "Oh, is this the new slavery?"
Massachusetts is processing them at the airport. At Logan, anyways.
By processing, they said, go right ahead. They take their picture, give it to them, and
whatever the process
on the
is they're doing.
Meanwhile, you get a radar baton shoved up your ass. Make sure you're not carrying a box cutter. God forbid.
Here's something else I found out. So I've been looking at old wrestling tapes, this, that, and the other thing, right? And then I watched this interview with somebody, and they had this big to-do over in Australia yesterday. And this one particular guy couldn't go to Australia. He couldn't go with the company to wrestle in Australia because he
is not vaccinated.
No, he's only been a citizen here for 5 months or something like that. And so there's some rule or law that says that if you you have to wait X amount of time before you can leave the country.
Right.
So he couldn't go with the company. He couldn't do his job because of the law won't let him go.
It's amazing that some countries they actually have immigration laws.
No, that's this
like
country.
Poland doesn't allow immigrants to come in their country at all, man.
That's this country. He can't leave this country because he hasn't been here long enough.
Well, I'm pretty sure that's Australia saying you can't come here.
No, you're not listening. The United States said you can't go to Australia with your company because you haven't lived in the United States long enough.
What he should do is just walk across the border, catch a boat from Mexico, and then he'd be good.
Somebody in D.C. got busted for having illegal associate. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's a good one, Mudge. Which, by the way, it's supposed to be illegal to hire undocumented people.
Yeah, but it's
supposed to be.
Yeah. Come to
99% of our politicians be strung up for dereliction of duty.
Absolutely, I agree. I don't know about strung up, maybe drug behind a Chevy pickup or something, but strung up's a little.
Bring back tar and feathering.
Hardcore.
Oh, you did not say that out loud.
I'd rather chocolate and feather dish if that's okay.
To change the subject, I want to put a warning out to everybody. I watched the news today and some other stuff. Had to look it up. There's a new chemical in our bodies, like 80% of us. It's called shit.
Budweiser.
Yeah, right.
Shit.
Chlormaquat. It is a insecticide invented quite a while ago, and the U.S. banned its use because it's highly toxic, except for on potted like house plants. What it does is you spray it on your crops, like they use it on cereal crops like wheat, and it stunts the plant, makes it shorter so it's easier to harvest without it doesn't tip over in the wind. It's mainly found, the study they did was on oats, and unfortunately in the old-fashioned the oats, the good ones that you have to actually cook,
That's what
was the highest level.
Oh, no.
So 80% of us have it in our body already. And what it affects is fertility, which some people might say, yay.
Yay.
But it also affects hormone production and a bunch of other weird shit.
Terrible.
But what I find is our lovely EPA banned its use in America, but it approved buying grain from Canada and other countries that's been grown with it. So that's why we got it in our system. The only cereal that they checked that did not have it in was Special K with fruit and yogurt, which is what I eat. So y'all gonna die and not have kids.
I don't eat cereal anymore, anyways. But when I do, it's usually Fruit Loops.
The thing is,
Fruit
it's getting
Loops.
into our children because they all, we were raised on cereal.
Yeah.
I live in the cereal capital.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, listen.
I smell it on Sunday nights. It's like,
Well, you people are all from fucking Michigan anyway, so you can probably smell.
I dabble in a little bit of serial killing every weekend.
You can probably smell fucking Detroit from where you are. So listen, if it ain't fucking cereal that's gonna kill you, it's the fucking Detroit that's gonna kill you.
Yeah, but what I find disturbing is the EPA approved it.
Well, yeah.
They're supposed to be looking out for us, a-holes.
I told you, my buddy, I had a good friend of mine that suffered for years with psoriasis.
Right.
Okay? Like, 80-something% of his body was covered in psoriasis.
Oh, that's horrible.
And we had he was the manager of this big lighting company out here, and he'd go to Canada on business, and he'd go to Canada, and he did it by accident. One day he wasn't feeling. He was in Canada. He wasn't well or whatever. He went to the hospital, and they said, "Oh, you have psoriasis. What are you taking?" Oh no, try this. The doctor told him every time he comes to Canada, just come to the fucking emergency room and I'll get you the fucking cream. He'd go to fucking Canada, they'd load him up on fucking cream, and they'd hide it in his luggage. Of course, back in the day, you can do that. They'd hide it in luggage on the way home. And he would take the fucking, because they wouldn't approve it in the United
Why
States.
wouldn't they?
Yeah, got you.
Oh, it just wouldn't be approved in the United States.
The U.S. won't approve it.
There's like
And they
buses
still
that take
haven't.
old people up to Canada to get their medication constantly.
And they still haven't approved it.
Well, they don't. The doctors don't want to cure you here. They want to keep you coming back.
Well, yeah, because they can't make money if you cure it.
Right.
You know, I knew back in 2001, 2002, something like that, that there was going to be an issue because this kid went to get stitches one day. And he got a good one. He got a good gash. It was like 8-9 stitches. It was a decent sized gash. He didn't cut any tendons. He didn't do any of that bullshit. Didn't cut to the bone, any of that crap. Okay. He came, and I'm no word of exaggeration either. Not as wide, but just as tall as a Pepsi can. Okay. Obviously, the medicine bottles aren't that big, right? Script bottles. But just as tall. Full. Cap to bottom. Full of fucking Vicodin. And I said to him, I go, hey, what's that for? Did you get an infection? He goes, oh, no, that's for the pain. I go, what pain?
It's a few stitches.
He says, oh, Mike, I got like 9 stitches. I says, dude, I don't give a fuck if you had 100. Stitches don't hurt after they stitch them, you nitwit. I says, well, I shouldn't say that. I says, did you cut a tendon or anything like that? He says, no, but he said, I almost did. I says, all right. So all you do is cut flesh. He says, yeah. I says, and you got a bottle of fucking Vicodin?
To a kid.
Pain. That's when I knew there was a fucking issue.
Yeah.
Steve, breaking news. You tilt it?
I can tilt it, but I can't read it.
You have
Hold
no
on.
money in your bank account?
Donald Trump, Nikki Haley.
60.
Well, 60%. I thought Vivek dropped out.
He did, but people are still voting for him. So did Ron DeSantis. He dropped out too, and he got over 2,000 votes.
Wow.
But that's 44 delegates. Donald
Yeah,
Trump. We'll see if Nikki Haley drops out now. She got her ass beat in her own state.
she got her ass beat by none of the above.
Okay, do me a
In
favor.
one
Well, that
state.
was Nevada. She lost to nobody.
The next time
That's
the next
pitiful.
time you blow somebody up, can you what is that called when you solo somebody?
Present.
Can
Solo
you
layout.
Yeah, can you solo dish?
Bro, I've had plans to solo dish half my
Listen,
damn
fuckface.
show.
Don't even listen, fuckface. You know,
And
there you go.
solo dish for 13 years now.
Right.
I won't embarrass you anymore.
Alrighty.
Aw.
Unreal Camooch. Right?
Dr. Baczynski was having 70 to 80% cure rate for brain cancer. They tried to indict him 9 times, saying he was a quack. Wonderful. That's a big can't go against big pharma. They wouldn't let him get money for his own trials.
Certain respiratory issues. Right.
Well, that's what they're trying to do to Trump. They're trying to break him. But here's some good news. They found him whatever and charged him $355 million or some fucking thing. During the week after they charged him, he made like $4 million in I don't know, donations, whatever. So he can afford it, thank God.
It's not right to be being obsessed with one person for what, 10 years now? 5 or 6 now?
There's nothing wrong with being obsessed with one person for 10 years. I've been obsessed with Dish for fucking 10 years.
Well, I guess that's all right then.
All right, cool.
If Trump isn't on the ballot, I'll write him in. I don't care anymore. He did more good stuff for this country than he did bad, unlike the other assholes. But it's definitely election interference. They're messing with a candidate. Yeah. It's blatant in our face. How can it be going on? Because they own everything from the top down.
Some people still trust what they hear.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. There was something else I was just thinking of, and the Trump thing blew it out of my brain. I hate that. Oh, there is always, they got early voting for the primaries and all that stuff. There is already issues coming up where people are going online, checking their vote. You can go online and check your voting status. It doesn't say who you voted for, but it says when you voted, you know, what years you voted, whatever. And people that received the mail-in ballots for early voting did not participate and did not fill them out, but they went on the site and it showed that they voted. Chris from the 740. Holy shit.
What's up, Chris? Chris from the 740, baby.
Yeah, so there's
if you guys notice that my phone number starts at 740, those of you who have it.
Oh, great. So another one from Ohio.
Right. From the 740, baby. Representing.
Down here somewhere.
Down yonder.
It beats being from fucking Michigan.
Yeah, I was where I used to live, about 12 miles from where Chris is at right now. So,
Cumberage in Alaska, thanks a lot for coming. Enjoy your meal with your lovely wife and have a wonderful night.
Yeah, you got another subscriber, by the way, sir.
Cool.
Lovely couple. Like they'll sit there and talk, and you can tell they're reading each other's thoughts. Did you hear all the flack that Tucker's getting for talking with Putin? How dare he? Trying to call him a traitor. Meet me outside. Nice to see you.
Hey, Craig.
Hey, what's up, kid? How are you?
Go watch his interview with. He's an old newscaster, white hair, white microphone.
Walter Cronkite.
Glenn Beck.
Walter
Pretty
Cronkite.
good interview with Glenn Beck.
Hey, Dish, your evil counterpart was very mean to her father today.
Uh-oh.
You see the shirt I got on?
I do.
I mean, I know it's brighter than Ohio's future, but you see how bright that fucking thing is? Right?
Yeah.
Did you
So
get
you
a
know-
job,
you know what she
job
calls
trimming
me?
trees or something?
No. You know what she calls me?
Avocado.
Highlighter.
Highlighter. Highlighter.
I go, honey, why are you calling me a highlighter? Because you're
Yeah.
short, you're round.
It's same
You're
color.
wearing that shirt, Daddy. You're short, you're round, and it's bright.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what she does. That's what she does. You know. So next time she goes to talk to you, I'm not gonna let her.
Okay.
No, it's just gonna. That's her punishment. I'm gonna say no. You can't talk to Dish.
Or you better hope she don't walk in the room, get up behind you again. You know that old.
No, you know what she'll do? I'll be sleeping on the chair. She'll grab my cell phone. She'll go on my phone. She'll take my thumb. She'll boop.
You sleep through that?
Oh God, yeah, I could sleep through a friggin'. I could sleep through a friggin'. It all depends. So, if I can sleep through anything, I always have, even as a kid, right?
Did he freeze or is he waiting for an answer?
That was a good story, too.
Checking 1, 2. Oh, it's because he lifted up his phone. A moment of silence waiting for Mike. Guess so.
Yep.
Should I throw him out and wait for him to come back? Or hey, Scotsman, you want a link? Or Chris, you want a link? A link?
A like.
Sent you a link.
Oh, there he went finally. Shit, I went through the news too quick. What the fuck? What else is going on, Ohio? You're into that controversy crap.
Controversy. I don't know. I'm kind of scanning right now and seeing if anything grabs my attention.
Oh,
And now here's some more bullshit you might believe.
right on, gunpowder.
Gunpowder. That's a good one.
Too much usage. But I find it really strange about the balloons and AT&T towers going out at the same time. Welcome back.
I lost my internet. No internet across on my thing. I'm like, what do you mean no internet? Jeez,
You showing newbies?
No, if I get another
Get the
message
angle.
that says my OneDrive thing is full, I'm gonna
Forward and a slight tip to the right.
Forward to the right. It's not picking it up. It's Spider-Man's mask all chewed up, and it says my underwear watching me buy more ammo.
It's fucking cold here, but it was 19 degrees.
Oh, that's a bummer. We hit 60
Yeah,
Oh,
we're,
wait, that
we're
was the
getting
day
that.
before yesterday.
We're getting that all next week.
I think it was 40 here today.
50s, 40s, 60s. We're getting that all next week. Some rain Wednesday and Thursday, I guess.
No, it's down to 26.
It was in the single digits this morning. It was
What?
cold yesterday and warm the day before and freezing today.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be warm again tomorrow. Yay.
I went to go fishing today, ice fishing.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, well, it's been cold, right? So I said, let me try it. It hasn't really been cold during the day, but at night it's been fucking frigid. And so I go out, I find this little fucking pond not far from my house. Not the one I already fished on, that little fucking one that's like 3 feet deep.
Full of weeds.
Too many weeds. So I went to this other one about 5 miles away. And there was a guy in there. He was just coming off the ice. He says, listen, he goes, it's a little sketchy. He says, so if you're going to be, he says, you may not want to, because you got ice picks with you. I said, why? The pond can't be more than fucking, 14, 15 feet deep? He says, yeah, but that's still, I said, yeah, good point. I said, but no,
Oh,
I don't
boy,
have any.
what the hell is up?
I said, I don't have any picks with me. So, anyways, I didn't even unload the car. I walked out in the ice. I came back and I'm like, all right, I'll drill the hole, see what's going on. So I came back, I got the fucking auger, I come back out. I drilled one hole. And I looked at the ice and I'm like, yeah, no, I'm good. That's like 4 inches of fucking. It was like slush ice. It wasn't like you know what I
Right,
mean?
yeah.
It's like, and then I went through it so easy, and my things broke too. So the top, I'm always cutting my hand. So I got I tied like a rag on there and everything with some tape and everything, and so I'm like this, and I'm like, nah, I can't be through yet. And I'm looking at the ice shavings, and I'm like, oh, this ain't good. They're not chunks. It looks like a fucking snow cone.
I used to call them French fries.
Yeah, and I'm like, yeah, this isn't good. Yeah, you're right, Craig. It wasn't worth it. And I'm like, you know what? I get back in the car. I put everything back in the car. I come home. My daughter says, what's the matter, Dad? I go, it's nothing. Because she asked if she could go, and I said no. And I'm like, no, I'm not. If I'm going, the old adage, I'm going down alone, So I'm like, no, you're not coming with me today.
I just watched a video. A guy had a GoPro on his chest or on his head. He went out on the lake pike fishing, towing his shit.
Yep.
And you could tell the ice had that lake color,
Yep.
where you could see the water, the dark water through it. He stepped across his crack and went through. Thank God. It almost like he was on purpose, but he had his picks on him. He could not get back up on the ice. He ended up picking himself across the ice, dangling in the water, all the way to this. It looked like a point or an island with a cabin.
Dude, I saw that video.
Holy shit, that dude was breathing.
Yeah.
I can't believe he made it.
Yeah, I saw
He
that
had
video.
me breathing hard.
Yeah.
All right, our boy, where did you go? Dang it. My guess was San Quentin. That wasn't right.
He said in South Carolina.
Uh-oh.
South
Greenville?
Carolina.
Outside of Rock Hill, South Carolina is the only clue.
What did he do?
He went somewhere yesterday. We got one guess.
Okay.
You go to the Trump rally?
Oh, hope so.
Who was in South Carolina yesterday?
Nikki
Stump.
Haley. No.
Stump was in South Carolina yesterday.
She was, Shalisa. I think so.
Yeah, they were all there.
My hero, Boyd.
But yeah, Stevie, it ain't worth it, kid. It's not.
Look at Susie all over it.
Ohio got it.
So now that it's going to be fucking 60 and 55 and 58 all next week, I'll go get a rubber raft and fucking scoot out on if there's any ice left,
You better
go find some open water.
Get some.
So I read that they did scramble some jets there, Stevie, about this balloon.
Yeah, when it got down, is it Idaho?
I don't know.
I can fish.
It just said that Pentagon scrambled jets.
I can fish the Merrimack. I got the Merrimack River. I can fish in all winter long if I wanted to.
That's awesome, our boy. That is cool.
Because it doesn't.
Gunpowder Beauty. It's Stump Greenwood SC. He is in South Carolina.
I said that.
But
I
Gunpowder
said-
Beauty said, "Oh no, he's in North Carolina."
No, he's not.
She just had a brain fart.
Well, first of all, she used to be blonde. Second of all, she's from fucking Texas. She doesn't know what the fuck she's talking about.
Yeah, I didn't know he was coming to Michigan. He was in Waterford, which is 15 minutes from me.
I wish he'd come to
Dang
Massachusetts.
it.
I really wish he'd come to Massachusetts. I really do.
So
It'd be so much fun.
I don't know, Steve. Do you want to maybe talk about that movie trailer we watched the other night?
Oh, that new movie coming out. Yeah, it looks interesting. Go ahead.
Has anybody seen the movie trailers for the new movie coming out in April from A24 Studios called Civil War?
No. I'm going to tell that.
Look for it when you get off of here. It looks pretty damn interesting.
I think I've seen it. I think you shared that, Ohio, a few weeks ago, maybe.
Yeah, I probably did.
Yeah.
I think it looks damn good. But like we were talking, like when you look at the map of how because this is a foreign director or whatever, directing a movie on what he thinks a civil war would look like in the United States if it happened again. And a lot of people are giving it shit because it says the alliance forces of the Republic of California, Republic of Texas, or whatever. But then people are talking like, well, they were both republics before they were states. So technically they were own countries before they joined the United States.
We were all republics.
We all were.
Well, no, we were the republic. The United States is a republic, but they were separate from the United States. They were the Republic of California and the Republic of Texas. They weren't states. They were their own countries at one time or territories.
Yeah, it was Commonwealth. Still am.
But it doesn't show like if it's like left versus right, or it's definitely not north versus south. It's not that easy. The map is weird when it shows it in the movie. So you don't know. Only thing you do pick up from the trailer is that the president is on his third term. So there's a tyrannical government happening. You know what I mean?
Well, they can delay because of war and this, that, and the other, the election and all that.
Right, but anybody that does that's tyrannical. But you know better than that.
Boy, that's cool.
If you don't leave after your second term,
did you?
Like everyone said Obama was going to do, and everyone said Trump was going to do.
I wouldn't even mind, running the country from the side.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
if
is.
I had somebody to run it, and I could just tell them what to do. Gee, I remember that comment.
Like my ex-vice president, just saying.
But it really looks good. And there's one scene that I seen that I was like,
Stevie, I'll be right back.
Right on.
I don't know how they're rolling with this because there's like a guy and he's like a sniper. And they were like, how are you guys, she asked him, it's all about these reporters reporting on it and getting like embedded with like different people that's fighting this war. And the one guy, he's like a sniper. He's all covered in like a ghillie, over camo over his rifle and stuff. And they ask him a question. I can't remember exactly, but how do you know who to kill? And he's like, because they're trying to kill us. And then he pulls the trigger on this like fucking sniper rifle, but his fingernails are all painted and they're like pink and blue, like pastel colors.
Wow, you pick up the details.
Well, here's the thing.
Susie does that to me all the time. Did you see that? It's like, what?
How does that go,
though? Crooked.
Are they doing social status for the Civil War? Like, LGBT, whatever community or whatever? Or is it one of those things where shit hit the fan so fast that this guy was a dad having a tea party with his fucking little girl and she was painting his nails? Because, all girl dads know that happens. You know what I mean? Right, Stevie?
Right.
You've had your nails painted before or tea parties and everything. Yeah. and then shit hits the
Pigtails, the
fan.
whole 9
Boom.
yards.
And then he's thrown into this fucking civil war like instantly. So you don't know what's. It's weird, man. They're not giving enough details to let you know in the trailer.
Well, that's why they
Except for
call
there's
them
a
a trailer
tyrannical
or
government. That's about the only thing you're
a
picking up.
teaser. Dish, could you imagine me in pigtails?
I can.
Man, that's creepy. Don't do that, Josh.
But the one guy, they've got like these reporters on the side of the road at like gunpoint, and the girl's like, "But we're Americans or whatever," and he was like, "Really?" The question is, what kind of American are you? Like, which American are you?
What side you on?
Yeah, so it looks very interesting, and I don't know, man. I just think it's kind of an original idea, if you ask me, when it comes to movies, because I'm getting sick of all the fucking remakes. You know,
Some
they
people
keep destroying. We had all these great movies growing up as kids, and they keep destroying them by remaking them and changing the fucking characters and the plots and everything.
Well, that one movie you turned me on to about, the apocalyptic kind of shit was, I thought it was good. Everybody's saying it was racist and this, that, and the other.
Oh, Leave the World Behind?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it had some racial overtones. You know, it showed a white family escaping, the city and going to like an Airbnb, and then this huge, massive thing happens to the country, and the people who actually own the house show up because they're out and they don't want to be in the city, because they live in the city, but they happen to be black. And then you got Julia Roberts' character who's white, who hates everybody, basically, is what she said in the beginning. Remember when she was looking out the window? I hate everybody.
Dude,
the hustle and bustle.
They did that part on purpose, and I didn't think it was poignant, because if shit hit the fan like it was and they were scared to death, power was out, if a group of white guys would have showed up at that door, she wouldn't have let them right in.
Well, probably not either.
Especially without ID and this, that,
Right,
I own this house.
They didn't know what was going on. They didn't know. It was just like these people told them,
To me, I just seen her as cautious. Yes, she was a bitch, but I just seen it as cautious.
That was produced by.
I don't see color.
Yeah, it was produced by the Obamas.
Yeah.
Well, I seen it, but then you have the black girl laying in bed talking to her dad about not being able to trust people, and then she said, especially white people.
Yeah.
So there
that
was racist things back and forth. There definitely was, but that's the world we live in, man. I'm sorry. You can, we've come a long way in this country, but there's always going to be racism. You'll never end it unless
it doesn't have to be
even
racism.
If right. But I'm just saying, even if like there's so many, generations go by where there's no more whites and no more blacks, where everyone's like the same damn color, where they, everyone's kind of a off brown color because we've mixed races so much. In 100 years, there's still going to be somebody that's, well, he's a little bit darker than the rest of us, so we should hate him. Or she's a little bit lighter than the rest of us, we should hate her. Oh, how'd she get blonde hair? Even though generations have gone by that she shouldn't have blonde hair, she should have a darker hair. We're all going to hate her. That's always going to fucking be in this world. We'll never.
Look how they feel about redheads. They don't have a soul.
Right.
Come on.
And I got to tell you, I have no issue with redheads. I always had a thing for redheads.
Okay, Ohio, why'd you just look down when you said that?
Yeah.
I don't know. I got a pair of shoes laying there. I just happened to look at them.
Hey, Ron Brown, what's up, brother?
Maybe because I was ashamed to admit that I have a thing for genderless, soulless people or whatever.
Don't send me hate mail. I like redheads. But I didn't see it as that way. I seen it as a cautious mother protecting her family. And I don't care if the dude was black, brown, white, pink, whatever.
Right.
You don't let them in your house at their say so, you know?
Yeah.
You know, there are theorists that keep these kind of programs, and they call it predictive programming. You know, they're telling you ahead of time what they're going to do.
Good answer.
Well, that's what somebody said about this Civil War movie is 10 years ago, if they would have made this movie, it probably would have caused a big stir. Like, oh, what the fuck's going on? This movie is crazy. I don't care. And it would be all over the place. Now it's just kind of coasting through that people really don't, it's not, you don't hear a whole lot of people talking about it. You see a trailer every now and then for it, but nothing, they're not blowing it out of proportion on the news channels and stuff because some people are saying, we're getting used to it and we think that this might happen, so therefore they're just conditioning us for something that's possibly on the way.
Well, how dare you say it? Because Obama made it.
I'm talking about the new movie though, the Civil War movie.
Yeah, but that other movie, Leave the World Behind, opened my eyes up to new ideas and new things that could go on. That whole thing with the electric cars driving themselves to a spot, you know,
to wreck and block the road so people couldn't travel it. Yeah.
Well, they were trying to get back to their home whatever. Their homing thing kicked in.
Right. Yeah, it was.
But it put the light on electric cars don't know you're human. Just like a regular car don't know you're human. You know, they'll bash right into you. But I thought it was a great movie. There was a couple of actors that weren't real great in it, but all in all, it wasn't a bad movie at all. And it did open my eyes to new ideas, new things to look out for. I
thought the big oil tanker or whatever running up on the beach, that was crazy.
Yeah.
And then if you paid attention, they really didn't explain it except for like when they were rushing off everybody out of the beach and they were leaving like the gates going out to the parking lot or whatever. There was that one cop. And someone was like, "What's going on?" And the cop just real calmly was like, "Not sure, but this is happening all up and down the coast." That's all he said.
Yeah.
And some people caught it, some people didn't. I caught it, and I was like, "Oh wow, it's happening all up and down the coast."
Our Boyd's got a question.
Problem, you know.
Our Boyd's got a question. Did anybody hear what happened to Chuck Schumer's female family member? I did not.
I heard a blip. Wasn't she found dead or something?
Really? Do tell, Mr. Boyd.
Yeah, I don't know.
Line then.
She was in her Teslas, the doors locked, and it went into reverse, and it reversed into a pond.
Damn.
Oh, yeah.
How do you kill somebody in a Tesla? Put them in water so the batteries blow up? Is she okay, Boyd?
It did it on its own. Doors locked and went in.
I think she died.
That's gonna fucking bother me.
She did. She is dead. Wow.
Damn.
I can't stand Chuck Schumer, but damn, to lose a family member, that sucks.
Sounds suspicious, to be honest.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
Chuck Schumer's family member dies in Tesla.
Suspicious. They're all a bunch of suspicious bastards anyway. There's a lot of dark shit going on in government.
Right. And you're right, Boyd. Teslas could be hacked. Anything with electronic brain kind of shit, just like your phone, they can be hacked.
Now they can hack
Now,
it.
that's amazing. I can't find anything on that story at all, just looking it up.
Huh. Either that or she was sacrificed so they could now start trying to erase Elon Musk because he's not following their agenda.
That's
that dude.
Absolutely possible.
That dude is backing Gina Carrera or whatever her name was, who's suing Disney. No one can sue Disney, right? They're so big, no one can sue them. So Elon Musk said, "I'll help pay," and he's helping her sue. So that's going to open up things, because if they were hoping to settle, right? They always settle, but if they go to a trial, that opens up all kinds of secrets and stuff that's going on, and all kinds of top secret, emails and all this shit that they can dig into. So Elon Musk is pretty much going to take down Disney and ABC, and he's probably going to end up buying it
Good.
and changing it like he did Twitter. So
You
that
mean
seems like, hey,
Something should just be left well
fucking
alone.
Putin said that Elon Musk was the most powerful man in the world.
he sure did.
So
Yeah, I didn't hear one blip about that.
I heard something, but I wasn't sure exactly. But I can't find anything. I've been looking it up.
Did you hear about the poor 11-year-old child that got killed in her bed via a drive-by shooting? Was that in Detroit? I can't remember where it was. It was in Detroit. Hey,
Is
Gear,
this
what's
the one
up,
where they're
brother?
not giving up the details? They didn't call it a.
Well,
Are you
they're
leaving?
soft selling it. They did link the driver of the car to all these car heists. They're breaking into dealerships, grabbing the keys, and driving the cars off the lot. They linked that back to that. But the news lady said it was two groups of people that had a disagreement.
A disagreement, not gang violence. We can't
Yeah,
call it gang
well, this
violence.
poor 11-year-old girl had to lose her life over a freaking gang shooting. Yeah, but that's how they're soft selling it. Two groups of people.
Listen, if you ever watched Legally Armed America, he wrote a book on how to make a monster, talking about mass shooters and stuff. And he actually did a video the other day where he took the lies of the media and broke them down and showed you how many shootings there actually has been this year, whatever. And the National Archives or whatever had to change it. They corrected and went by his numbers. But
wow.
Well, he broke it up in three different things, because MSNBC and CNN are like, oh, there's been like 34 mass shootings, or 77 school shootings since January, and there's like been one. If someone drives by a school and pops off a round in the air, to scare one of their gang member rivals, that counts as a school shooting, because it was within so many miles of a school.
Right.
But he broke it up in three different categories, and he said, you have your rampage shooters, then you have your domestic shooters.
Hey, Digger Joe.
And then you have your conflict shooters. And he said a rampage shooter would be like someone going into a school or whatever and shooting up a bunch of unarmed people in a school or library or church or whatever. And since January, there's been one of those. And he said there's been three domestic shootings where people like are at a party or something like that, where they know a bunch of people, birthday party, retirement party, something like that, or just a domestic situation where dad comes home from work, gets pissed off like tuna salad, and gets all pissed and kills his whole family.
By
There's
the way,
been three of those.
Our Boyd corrected himself. It wasn't Mitch McConnell's daughter. It was Chuck Schumer's daughter.
I thought you said Chuck Schumer. It was Mitch McConnell.
Yeah, it's Mitch McConnell. Not
okay. Yeah, I was going to say.
Jesus.
Yeah, Chuck Schumer's niece is Amy Schumer, that really ugly fat actress. But
your opinion. Gear, you have a link, brother.
But the conflict shooting are people that have arguments or whatever, or gang violence or whatever against each other. There were 30 of those. Those are the most that's going on, and they're being counted as a mass shooting when they never counted them before. There's no such thing as gang violence anymore.
Yeah.
We just call it a mass shooting.
Congratulations, Gear.
What kind of critter?
Added a new animal to the family. Was it a cousin or?
Motherfucker probably went out and got a kangaroo knowing Gear.
That'd be awesome.
One of them prison deers.
Man, I'm glad our deer don't hop around like that.
All good, Gear.
Stevie, that's that link for those that were that guy fucking falling to the ice.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's it. That was a.
It's only a minute and 34 seconds, folks, so it's not like it's a long.
She's far enough out, isn't it?
Yeah, I was reading some of the comments. A couple of the people said,
Yeah.
you know, I find it funny that I could tell exactly when he was going to go through. Right when he stepped across it, there was like a big void of a little bit of clear ice. And he, man, one step and boosh, rather he planned it or not, it was a tense, intense video.
Let me tell you something. Let's just pretend he did. He's still in fucking cold water, middle of the fucking winter. How's that
no
sound,
shit.
folks? How's that sound? Okay.
Yeah.
So,
and I think I would have spun around and went back the way I came.
And unless you first time I went in, first of all, I wouldn't be still dragging my shit with me. Okay.
Yeah.
That shit would have went to the bottom of the fucking lake in the springtime. Okay. But yeah, no.
I'm the type of guy and size of guy that I got to look at a chair's tag to figure out what the weight limit is before I can sit down on it, let alone go out walking on fucking ice.
It's just, it's.
Yeah, but you float, though.
I do float. I float very well.
It's just so much fun, and that's why I didn't want to. I wanted to go so bad, and it's like
I'm damn near unsinkable. The only thing that would get me in ice would be the fucking cold, doing hypothermia. I would never drown.
I just didn't want to go through.
You keep saying that. I sink like a rock in the water.
It's all about.
I don't float very well either. I might now that Susie's put a couple pounds on me, but if I don't keep my lungs expanded with air, I'll sink like a stone.
Yeah. My problem is I float too good, and then my belly goes up, and my head goes underwater. So then I got to fight to keep my head up.
I can float for hours. That's why I could swim across the lake and back. Anytime I got tired, I just float for a while.
Just float.
Right. Do that in 38-degree water. See how it works out.
Yeah,
right.
No shit.
But I'll tell you, when we go on vacation, we go like the ocean, like salt water, ocean water. Oh my God, dude! You might as well put a flagpole in my belly button and name me because I'm a new island out there. I cannot sink in the fucking ocean. It's a struggle for me to go underwater.
Much more floaty. But man, would that make a funny ass cartoon? You're doing okay till you get tired and you just roll over, belly up.
Right, like when we go on vacation, we get like an Airbnb and there's a pool. Dude, I just sit I don't need a pool floaty or anything. I just lay on my back and float in the water.
It's hard to know which way's up and which way's down, though, when you get hit by one of those waves.
Yeah.
Fuck suckers. The Bruins lost 3-2 to the fucking Canucks.
Oh, what I said?
Caesar said, feed them bread and give them entertainment.
All right. Dish, that was the quickest pee I've ever seen in my life.
You didn't wash your hands, I can tell.
Right.
She's got a bucket in the corner of her room.
Go girl it.
Yeah,
This
she's
is my
probably
homestead life.
just got that funnel thing hooked to her jeans right now.
Right, yep.
Right?
You laugh.
There's a
I
bucket
took it from
between
my
our
brother.
legs
We gave
under
it
the
to him one
desk.
year for Christmas. We gave my brother a bucket with a toilet seat on it one time because he's always fucking when he was doing his water job, he had no place to shit. So one day we gave him a fucking. We bought with hunters use them. And we bought a fucking. It came with the lid on it.
Yeah.
5
had one
gallon
for
pail
camping.
with a lid on it, and fucking gave it to him. I got it now.
Yeah, I bought one for camping. Then you buy the special bags to put in it, and then you poop in the bag, and then before you leave camp, you get your fire roaring real good, and you throw your bag of shit in the fire and burn it, and then.
Dude, you should save it for a Christmas present for office people you don't like. Here's your present. Reach in the bag. I dare you.
Up north, my sister can't have. She has nowhere on her lot to put a tank or anything, a septic system. So, because where we were, everybody had an outhouse, and then now all the laws change. A lot of those people that had outhouses can't have a fucking tank, and those that have tanks, most of them are fucking illegal. There's only like 3 of them that are totally legal. The rest of them are all fucking oil tanks.
Right.
So, but yeah, you feed it. If you can do it with an oil tank, you feed it through, and all the shit stays in the thing. You use your your Ridex and all that. But anyways, long story short, my sister bought a. It cost like $3,000 too. It what the fuck's it called? All I know is that it burns it. It puts it into fucking powder. And, and
I know exactly what you're talking about.
She puts it in a
They
bag.
work great, but kind of expensive to run. Incinerator toilet.
Is it the ship burner 3000?
I'm telling you, it turns it into a powder. She puts it in a trash bag. She throws it away.
Incinerator toilet.
Yeah.
Then you can snort the powder when it's done.
Well, they do that at a lot of hospitals. I think a lot of hospitals are using that now. And then they have companies that come pick it up and haul it off, and they use it for fertilizer. It's like medical waste or something.
Ugh.
You know what, Steve? I was going to talk about that Civil War movie. I forgot to mention one thing. I noticed in one of the clips, there's a bunch of guys coming down the side of a building, and they have a shootout with a group of which I assume to be military guys because they're all wearing camouflage and stuff. But the guys shooting out with them, if you look at the gear they're all wearing plate carriers, and underneath their plate carrier, they're all wearing Hawaiian shirts. So you remember the Boogaloo Boys, and everybody wearing the Hawaiian shirts a couple years ago, like 2016.
I didn't remember. I didn't know they had a name.
Yeah, the Boogaloo. Well, because they said the second Civil War is coming, and they named it after the movie Breakin'. Remember Breakin', the movie? And then they were Breakin' 2, Electric Boogaloo, and that's why they called it Civil War, the Electric Boogaloo. So they were called Boogaloo Boys, and they made the flag with the igloo on it. But there was a bunch in that movie. They show a bunch of guys walking up the side of the building, shooting out with the military, and they're all wearing Hawaiian shirts. So I think that's a reference to the Boogaloo Boys.
Cute. So they'll probably have the Proud Boys in there too then.
I don't know. It's funny how the Proud Boys are supposed to be this big racist group, but their leader was black.
Yeah. Duh.
The guy who started the whole thing.
Well,
that's
media slant to make you hate them.
Well, it's because they're a religious group. You can't allow Christians to do anything. Only in this country, Muslims are the only one that has religious freedom. And I'll take full responsibility for that statement. That's just the way I feel. I'm not even a Christian myself.
Yeah, so how can you make that statement then?
What's that?
Then how can you make the statement?
What do you mean? Because I have eyes and they're open and I can see what the fuck's going on in this country.
So what freedoms don't other denominations have? Only the Muslims have.
Have you watched the news? I mean,
No, I don't watch the news. That's
I
the
mean,
whole
you
fucking
just
problem.
can't. I mean, a
I don't
Christian
watch.
group, a Christian group can't do anything without being ridiculed on the news or whatever. But a Muslim, it's
Really?
okay for Muslims to do whatever the hell they want. That's what I'm saying.
What Christian group has been on the news to try to do something without being ridiculed? It got
I
ridiculed.
mean, if you're wanting examples, I mean,
Yes, please.
okay, well, I can't just throw them off the top of my head right now, but I get you something real quick. It won't take long to Google.
Who wrote the satanic verses? That's
The only one I knew about, the only Christian group I know that gets ridiculed and they deserve it and they should be fucking blown up, every fucking one of them, is those fucking jackasses that fucking.
The Westboro Baptist Church, right?
Yeah, those people deserve to be blown up. But other than them, because they're really not a Christian group, they're just fucking. They're a hate group that fucking that hides behind a Christian fucking name.
Kind of like the KKK.
Yeah, pretty much. But other than them,
in Ireland,
because I've seen on Boston Common they have you can think of any denomination you want other than those, like I said, other than those assholes, and they never have any issues whatsoever. And that's the city of Boston, where they're fucking nobody likes anybody in the city of Boston. Actually, pretty much this whole fucking state. But
everybody just walks around growling.
Oh, dude, it's fucking guys. I'm telling you, it is so much different living in. I wish the guy from Alaska was still here.
It's just a way of life. There's parts in New York that are like that too.
Yeah, and it's we're known for our rudeness up this way, and.
Yeah, but the thing is, if an outsider comes in and goes after one, then they all gang up against the outsider.
You know what, Mikey? I got a quick example for you that I'll just.
I'm not breaking your balls. I'm just saying.
No.
Something
just triggered me. It just triggered that I remembered during the whole pandemic.
Yep.
With the coronavirus bullshit that was going on. Mm-hmm. Do you remember? certain people couldn't go to church?
Nobody.
They couldn't even go in the parking lot and listen on the radio.
Correct.
Yeah. A lot of that didn't apply to certain other groups.
Yes.
So you can look that one
up.
If you want.
Although I will say this, lawfully, right? Lawfully, because I told my wife this, because my wife goes to church and she got upset that she couldn't go and all that. And I told her, I said, well, that's on the church. And she says, what do you mean? I said, we have separation of church and state around here.
Yeah. Really?
I said, we have a separation of church and state around here. I says, you guys can gather anytime you want. And I says, there ain't a goddamn thing the state can do about it.
By law, you're correct.
I said, so let me explain something to you. I go, all this is now is just straight politics, babe. She says, what are you talking about? I says, babe, you're not hearing me. If the archdiocese, if the fucking Vatican said, if you want to have mass, across the world, go have mass across the world, and because shit rolls downhill, the Vatican, right? So the archdiocese in Boston, across the whole fucking country and the whole fucking world, would have said, okay, maybe we will. And guess what? Whatever state you lived in, couldn't do a goddamn thing about it.
Except for send out tyrants to arrest them.
I says,
which they did.
They can't.
But
they did.
But they did, Mike.
Yeah, well,
a
guess what?
lot of those people
Guess what?
sitting in their cars in the parking lot and stuff got arrested.
There'd have been
there should have been a big ass rebellion.
Forget the rebellion. There should have been a lot of fucking lawsuits because they're so what do you call about separation of church and state that it's not even funny. And so unless you're, and there's another thing too is that a church is sanctuary doesn't matter what denomination you are. And so unless something happened criminally, they don't even have the right to walk through the door.
Right.
You can, in other words, a priest or a pastor or whatever, okay. There's a thing about seeking sanctuary, okay, even if I committed fucking murder, okay, and I went into church and talked to the it's called, they don't have to let you in. Look this up. I'm not fucking blowing smoke out my ass. I'm being fucking
Oh,
dead
we know
serious.
they don't have to, but guess what?
You
When
know,
they kick the fucking door in, they don't give a fuck. You know what I mean?
and that's a lawsuit waiting to happen.
Well, you'd have to actually
Let's say
get
if-
away.
let's say
You have
so-
to do this lawsuit, but
The only problem is you got to have the money to be able to do a lawsuit because they got, you know, funds coming out the wazoo to go against you.
right. And the whole thing with that separation of church and state,
Yep.
people take that too far. That just means that the government will not pick a certain religion to be a like official religion of this country. That's all that means. It doesn't mean that you can't
the
pray in the
schools.
courthouse. It doesn't mean you can't pray in a school. It doesn't mean you can't talk about Jesus on government. They say a prayer every day before they start in Congress and the Senate.
Yeah.
So there's no separation between church and government or church and state. That just means that the state cannot pick one typical religion like the English government did.
Troy
That's why
Sutton,
it's
how
there,
the heck
because
are you? Nice to
England
see
said
you.
that everyone would be Presbyterian or whatever, or Protestant.
Prostitutarian?
Prostitutarians, yeah,
What I'm trying
prostitute.
to say is it's separation of church and state because just for education alone, okay, you don't need a most schools. We'll do public schools, okay. Public schools, you needed a college degree to teach, correct? At least
I would imagine. I don't know. There might be something out there that you don't.
I'm thinking no less than an associate's degree.
A teacher certificate, whatever. Yeah.
Right. Well, an associate's degree you can do it on.
Unless you're an assistant.
Catholic school, my wife, I mean, she has a degree in education, but she knows of people that they don't even have. They went and got this certificate. They're not even college educated.
Vanessa Kitty, what's up?
You
Hey, Vanessa.
can get away with all that bullshit. The other thing too is that
But they're state certified, though, right?
hang on. The other
Give
thing
me
too is that
Give me a second. Everybody say goodnight, Susie.
good night,
Good night,
Susie.
Good night, Susie.
The other thing is that public school, you're supposed to go to school for 100. You're supposed to be at school for 181 days. Okay, they're supposed to have 181 days of schooling. Correct?
I
Something
don't
like
know.
that, yeah.
Okay. Not Catholic school. No. And I'm not talking. Then they get their snow days. I'm not even talking about all that bullshit. So, while there is a difference, you know what I'm saying? There is a definite separation because they don't have the same rules. They don't have the same anything.
Well, it might be state to state too, because if you go to a Catholic school in Ohio, you still, as a Catholic student, have to pass the state mandated tests that are taught in the public school district.
Yeah, well, see, we have MCAS here. MCAS, it's MCAS, right? MCAS tests. Okay, it was supposed to be for teachers only. All right, so they can worry about the teachers, right? And now it went to the kids. So now it had nothing to do with the teachers, and now it's all on the kids. It's like a standardized testing type thing, okay?
Mhm.
Catholic school doesn't do that.
Well, here they do.
Okay, so that's it. But
Yeah.
that's a state thing. That's a you know what I'm saying?
Right. It's different states, but I'm saying in Ohio, the Catholic schools, if you're a student at a Catholic school, you still have to pass the standardized testing to get your diploma.
But my point is that the state can't tell here, anyways. The state can't tell the private schools what's going on. So there is a separation.
But I bet you if they don't pass that test, then they might have issues getting into a college.
Well,
What test? Oh, the
we
MCAS
don't have
test?
that separation here because Catholic schools accept state money.
Yes,
Even though they're private, they still
we
they
have
still
all
get state
private
money.
donations. We have all private donations.
Yeah,
Let
they
me
don't
ask
here.
you something, Mike. Do your Catholic schools in your area go all the way to 12th grade?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Well, let me say it this way. The school my wife is teaching at right now only goes to the 8th grade.
But they do have a.
But they have
A
Catholic
high
schools.
school, yeah.
You just
Okay.
change schools. You just go from, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
like the one by us is like Holy Family, and it goes from kindergarten to 8th grade. And then if you want to continue your Catholic education, you go to Walsh Jewish, or whatever it is, and it's 9th through 12th.
But
Gotcha.
the school
I
that
wondered how they ran that because when I was a kid, we had a lot of my friends went to the local Catholic school and only went to 9th grade, and then they had to go to public high school to finish. I think because the nearest Catholic school that went higher was too far away to drive.
the
Yeah.
school that my
Or
daughter's
full.
at, the school that my daughter is at, does it from kindergarten right to 12th grade.
Boy,
Now, see, do you guys have? Here's the thing: like when Ohio, like we have, state or school districts or whatever, but then we have Catholic schools that are private, but our school buses for our school system pick these kids up and drop them off. So we still do
Yeah.
busing, and that's
Yes,
why
see, we don't, but they don't
Yeah.
do that. They charge me if I want a camera girl to take a bus, it costs me $1,000 a year.
oof.
Good grief.
yeah. So
Is it a
We
public
actually-
bus or a school bus?
No, it's a private.
That's the thing.
It's a bus. My wife wanted me to work over there one time, be the bus
Hey,
driver.
hello, everybody.
Fine.
The Fabulous Kitty.
Hi, Rita.
She
No,
answered.
and my daughter's school buses all say Lowell Catholic High School right on them, and they're not buses. They're not big yellow school buses. They're short white ones.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so they're running their own private thing, and you're
Yep.
making you pay for it. But here, you can catch a regular school bus, and it would drop all the kids off at the high school, and then it would take a trip over to the Catholic school and drop them off. All the
And that's
Catholic
why
kids
they
off
have
there.
to. And that's why what you said earlier is there because they don't.
They accept funding,
Yeah.
because you get a lot of people here like, oh, I pay, we pay for Catholic school, it's private school, blah blah blah. We don't get no state funds. Bullshit. Every single Catholic school in Ohio gets their hands in the cookie jar when it comes to the, taxpayers' money.
Then we have what do they call it? They're public, but they're called something else. Charter.
Schools.
Yeah, we got charter schools here too. I don't know how they
Those
are.
have been.
I know
those
that's a
have been
state funded
basically-
type thing, but
Those charter schools have basically been shown to be like the biggest fraud ever in Ohio.
they out here it all depends, I guess, where you go. There's a charter school here in the next town over in Lowell that they say is pretty decent. My cousin's kids went to one in Malden, Mass. That was pretty decent, but then they said there was a few of them that aren't fucking good at all.
Or are they like privately funded or something?
No. It's a public thing. It's just a
They
I don't know what
cater
the
to
purpose is.
certain. Let me just explain to you real quick without trying to offend a lot of people. But they cater to special kids and stuff. Around here we have a charter school called the Promise School, and it is started and ran by LeBron James. So if that tells you anything. And
What
these
what
kids
is
make
Are they all like that? Because none of my cousin's kids are in that you know what I mean? They don't have any disabilities or anything.
Now it's not disability. It's depending on where the money comes from. If you don't like a certain, if you don't like your school, if you don't like a certain school district because you live in a bad neighborhood or whatever, there's open enrollment. You can go to a charter school.
I got you.
And like LeBron James started a charter school, in my area, and it's like he makes a, it's a promise thing. You promise when you sign up, you promise LeBron James that you'll get your education and continue your education through there, and then once you graduate, LeBron James will actually give you money to go to college on if you keep your promise, if you keep your end of the deal.
Vanessa Kitty says the charter schools in Texas get the students that are kicked out of public schools, basically a last-ditch effort for education.
All right.
Now, what is a Montessori school?
That's where they go to become priests, isn't it?
No, it's
that's a different word.
Education style of teaching, but it's also it's program, but it's like a private school too.
Oh, I'm thinking What am I thinking of?
Montessori is what it is.
Monastery.
I don't know what's more.
Yeah, monastery.
Monastery. Yeah, okay.
That it's an actual really good educational program. It's really education intensive.
Huh.
The problem we had with charter schools in Ohio for so long was all these charter schools started popping up all over the state, and people were sending their kids to them. And when it come time for the testing and everything like that, they scored the lowest, and they couldn't pass any kids. They couldn't get any kids to the next grade.
That sucks.
Yeah, so you got 130 charter schools, and they each have 300 students, that can't get to the next grade. So then next thing you know, you got a bunch of 14-year-old fifth graders.
That's why.
Okay, here in Mass, I'll give this state credit when it's needed. They rank like number 1 or 2 in fucking education in the country. So I can't knock them for that. But
well, you get smart or get your ass kicked. It's Boston.
Oh, it's I'm quite sure that's public too. I don't know if private's involved in that, but
right.
But geez, that sucks, Vanessa.
Oh, gotcha. She said basically saying their charter schools are like real basic education. I thought being a private school, they had some, newfangled way to educate the kids.
Well, you see, back in the day, there it is, as too, right? Back in the day, especially in the Catholic school, is the fucking nuns. You get out of the line, the fucking nun slap you across the face with a fucking
whack with a ruler.
I hate to beat up a nun.
Right? Straight to hell we're going.
Yeah.
But try that in public school.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's not going to happen.
Well, I remember the kids in Catholic school used to ride the public buses, get dropped off. All of them got dropped off at a different school, and then finally they all got loaded on one bus and then taken to school. Yeah. But I remember my buddies, we were in the same grade, but the books they had were from the grade higher than me. So like they were a little bit more advanced than we were.
That's how it is. That's how it is. Not the buses, but that's how there is where my daughters go. Well, my youngest now, because the other one's at college. But but it's not. They're not. Because I don't want to. They're not advanced as in their fucking.
Overall skills. They just learn
it's just
a little quicker than
because you don't have 30 kids in a classroom.
Right.
Okay.
That's a biggie.
You have like fucking 12, 15 if you're fucking lucky.
See, that's how the school I worked at, Cranbrook, that's how those kids got smart, because they had very tiny classrooms compared to public school.
And it's easier for kids like me that when he was at school that, I had that fucking staring out the window disease. that you know, or I was fucking talking to somebody because it was always somebody. There was so many fucking people. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
They don't. The way my daughter says, the way they set it up is that she says some of her classes they don't let you sit by yourself, but you're always like she's got 12 kids in like her history class or something. Everything's in fours. You know, and then the teacher like sits right in the center of the fucking little circle, so you don't have time to stare out the fucking window.
Right.
You know what I mean? And
that's weird. They did that at the school I was. A lot of the teachers were in the middle, and all the kids were facing them.
Yep. So it's like, you know, they all, you know.
You know how they solved that problem at the school I went to is they built new schools that didn't have no fucking windows.
Yeah, they look like our new schools. You drive by, they look like a prison.
Mm-hmm.
Our newer schools where I grew up have big, huge windows, but the ones that were built, because they were built like in the 60s and early 70s when I went there, and there was like a new concept of learning where they just built like a big, huge building, and it was all open classrooms, and then they put up these like cubicle divider type things to, I mean, if you were in kindergarten on this side of the building, you could hear the fucking fifth grade teacher on this side of the building talking because it was all one big open thing, and in the middle was the library, and then the gym was separate with a music room that was separate with the cafeteria. But the school layout was one big huge square, and it had classrooms around the outside of it, and there was 4 doors in the square area. Each corner had a door, and that's how you went out for like recess and stuff. And the doors were metal doors, and they had like little windows about this big on the side, looked like prison doors almost.
With the wire inside.
Yeah.
Inside the glass.
And it was,
yeah, I hated that shit.
And it was like when they had opened the doors to like let you out to like for recess or whatever, or if you were good, you got like an additional outside playtime or whatever in the afternoon around 2:00. The teacher would grab a kickball and we'd go out and play kickball or something like that. Like when that door opened, it was like a bunch of vampires, man. The sun would hit you and like,
I seen a kid take like, I can't tell you how many fucking stitches because he took so many, you'd lose fucking track. But he was bombing down the fucking, he was being chased because he grabbed some girl's ass. She had a boyfriend. His boyfriend said, I'm going to kill you. So he started, we were in high school. He is bombing ass down the fucking hallway. And I guess the girl's brother or something, they're yelling, whatever. I don't know how the fucking thing happened. Anyways, but the girl's brother wound up slamming one of because we used to have because they did it for fire doors, you know what I mean, inside on the hallway. And he slammed one of those fucking doors, and the fucking kid stuck his hand out right through the fucking thing.
Yep. We had a girl do that. The doors going outside were the big square windows with the push bar in the middle.
Yep.
Yeah.
And somebody was chasing her down the hall. She missed the push bar and both arms went right through that window.
Yep.
She was shredded. I remember them walking her down the hall to the office, just leaving a trail of blood.
It wasn't a school.
It was like she got to the fight with a cat.
Yeah.
I mean? I'm like,
hey, it wasn't a school, but there was a church where my buddy used to go to, and like every Wednesday night, we would go to this church and play volleyball. They had a big gym on the side of the church, and there was just a bunch of church guys and stuff and girls, and we'd go play volleyball from like 7:30 to like 9:30, 10 o'clock every Wednesday. And it cost like 50 cents because they would, you pay 50 cents to play volleyball, and it would, they'd bring in like fucking snacks and shit. It was a cool little thing. And, but I had one of the balls and my buddy was standing there and we were done. Everyone was starting to clean up or whatever. And he was standing there talking to some girl, and I come up behind him and I like served the ball like 4 feet from him, it's like, wow, like on the back of his head. So he turned around and started chasing me. Well, I took off running like I was going to go through the double doors. So when I hit both doors to go through the double doors, I didn't realize there's a fucking aluminum bar between the two doors. So I was like, bing, running. Oh, dude, it stopped you. It stopped you right in your tracks, buddy. Let me tell you. I don't know if it
The infamous center bar.
That center bar, dude, it fucked me up.
Can you guys still hear the dodgeball slamming off your head?
That ping. That ping.
Bam!
Yeah.
I had a sadistic gym coach who was also the wrestling coach. We used to play dodgeball with soccer balls. And let me tell you, you get one of them upside your head, you knew it. That guy was totally sadistic, though. He usually a lot of the times the poor little geeky guy would be the last guy standing because he stood in the back and was just ducking. And he'd say, "No boundaries." Everybody in that gym would grab
so
a
then
ball.
You could cross the line.
Pummel that kid.
Vanessa, I'm with you. God forbid you actually have accountability anyway.
I want to ask Vanessa what a phone liquor bag is.
Is that phone liquor or phone liquor?
It's like
that's what I do on the phone. Listen, I'll tell you what it is. I'll tell you what a phone liquor is. When you're on the phone with Dish, let me tell you something.
Now you know, Dish.
I don't know if any of you guys played this or what, but like the dodgeball or the kickball or whatever. They created a new game. We called it Monster Ball, and it was like baseball, but we used one of those. And you would the teacher would underhand slow pitch that fucking dodgeball at you, and you had a fucking aluminum baseball bat, and ding, and you hit it. But you were allowed to throw the ball at people when they were running the bases. So it was like dodgeball with baseball mixed in with it. It wasn't like baseball where you had to tag them out. You could just throw it at them and take their feet and trip them up and everything.
So basically a kickball with a bat.
Yeah, kickball with a bat. Yeah.
Vanessa, I did have implications to my staring out the window. I fucking repeated the 8th grade. I wasn't a very good student. So yeah, there was total implications on me fucking staring out the window. But I was staring out the window because my attention span, even as an adult, it's like a fucking gnat. So you know what I mean? I wasn't good sitting in a chair for 45 minutes. Most human beings, as adults, most adult human beings, you're not hearing shit. You're not paying attention after a person's talking for 8 minutes, and it's a proven fact.
And wives need
proven fact. After 8 minutes,
what were you talking about?
After 8 minutes, people aren't listening.
Wives need to learn that married men, have an attention span on average of maybe 5 minutes. So get to the point, cut it short, and let's go.
And there's no need to fucking nag me over and over again for years. If I told you I was going to get it done, I'll get it done.
For years.
God bless it. I'll hang the fucking shelf. I'll hang the shelf in the hallway when I get to it.
Junior high, I did shitty. I told you, I repeated it the 8th grade. When I went to high school, my freshman year, I did a little bit better. I went to a trade school for 2 years, for freshman and sophomore year, and then I went back to my high school, my own town, my junior and senior year. It was different for me because I went to the trade school. When I came back, I excelled in fucking history, geography, and all that shit that interested the shit out of me. It was science, chemistry, fucking health class, all that bullshit I didn't fucking want to deal with. Spanish class, all that bullshit I didn't want to deal with that I didn't excel in. But when I came back,
you paid attention in Spanish class, then you'd be able to communicate with everybody in your neighborhood.
When I came back to my high school, because I already had science 2 years at my school, I didn't have to deal with it my junior and senior year. So I took an honors history class in high school. Because I always had U.S. history throughout my whole, because I loved it. It was one of my favorite things to do.
I'll tell you what, I'm no dummy. I went to high school for 7 years, so.
You know. But yeah, so But it's like I tell people all the time, Vanessa, college ain't for everybody. Everybody pushes these fucking schools keep pushing college. College ain't for everybody.
Wasn't for me. Nothing
And I don't give a
indoors.
fuck what your profession's going to be. I don't care if you're going to go to law enforcement. I don't care if you're going to be a fireman. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. You don't need to do all that shit to go to have those jobs. There are plenty of fucking jobs in this
tell you
world
what, you
that we don't need to go
you
spend
need some
fucking
college to be a
$120,000
cop
for an
now.
education after you just did 12 years.
And sensitivity training, Ohio.
Yeah, you do need some type of you do need an.
Who's jumping, me or him?
What's that?
No, Ohio
jumping,
said
me or him?
Ohio says you need some college to be a cop now, and I added and sensitivity training.
That's a state thing. All it does here, it gives you like an extra $2,000 a year for every 2 years of college you went to. So an associate's degree gets you $2,000 more a year. A 4-year college, going for 4 years gets you 4 years, $4,000 more dollars a year. And every bachelor thing after that gives you more. But
apparently,
as you know,
our boy failed typing class. He's having issues.
So did you guys hear about the? Did you hear about
my point is that you can be you can do a trade. You can be a plumber. You can do any fucking thing you want.
Please,
you can be
don't
electrical.
Have
you can do all this stuff that you don't need to go to a 4-year school and spend $130,000 for 4 years, and then whatever your major's in, and then come out and not use it.
Yeah, or be so far in debt that you can't ever catch up.
My thing is all these people that have a college degree and like 92% of them aren't even working in the field that they went into college for.
Well, that's my thing.
Yeah. And then you get a bunch of these kids that are going to college and they're picking fucking these degrees or whatever, or they're majoring in shit that there's no real jobs out there, and then they graduate with a gender studies degree and liberal arts degree, and then you're like, I can't find a fucking job anywhere. Can't pay back my loan.
So
there you go.
That course I'm going to take on lesbian underwater basket weaving isn't worth anything.
Well, I mean, it's good to have that knowledge, but
depends if you can sneak a camera in there or not,
and how long you can hold your breath. It depends on how long you can hold your breath, whether or not you're good at being a lesbian. I'll tell you that right now. If you can breathe through your nose or what, there's a lot of skills to learn to become a lesbian. Did you guys see the nursing student at the University of Georgia that was murdered?
No.
Yes.
Yeah, she was murdered by an illegal immigrant from Venezuela.
Oh, I bet you that's just plastered all over the news.
That's strange. That's where our voting machines are made.
Oh, wow. And then what do you think about what's his name? What's the NRA guy's name? Wayne Lapierre.
Who cares?
But did you hear what he was found liable or whatever? He has to pay $4 million back to the.
Good.
Yeah.
They got some of my money for a while.
It's a good start. Now they need to clean out the rest of the whole big money that makes everybody else's life miserable here.
Right. They just need to make Ted Nugent the fucking main guy that's NRA.
You need Uncle Ted to do that shit. Yeah, that's cool, Vanessa. That's a lot of money. It is, but it isn't.
Stevie, are you buying the new Donald Trump tennis shoes?
Yes. I seen the gold ones. Actually, dude, I would wear them. What the fuck? The white ones probably. I think they come, 3 colors?
Well, there's 3 different shoes, right? and they're different prices. There's like a $199, a $299, a $399. The all
That's
gold
hundreds.
ones, yeah. The all gold ones are like the $399 ones. They got the big T on the side and American flag and everything. They all sold out in minutes. They were sold out. I have a feeling you're going to see a lot of fucking like, everyone talks about how, the black race always votes Democrat or everything like that. But there's a lot of black voters coming around to Donald Trump's side because there's a lot of rappers and stuff that used to love that man. They used to rap about him and shit all the time, like having Donald Trump money and everything. He was a hero to a lot of these rappers. I guarantee a lot of these rappers own them fucking Donald Trump shoes now because they sold out in minutes.
Yeah. Our Boyd says 15 minutes.
Are we going to see people wearing them, or are they going to hoard them?
Oh,
They're probably going to
get
hoard them.
display
You might see them in a
cases.
rap video or something.
I know.
Yeah. Wash them off, put them away.
Fucking hoarders.
I mean,
They hoard the fucking ammo. They hoard the fucking sneakers.
I keep mine clean, but but I
Lizards,
wear them. I wear them all the
worms.
time.
Right.
Hoarding food don't count. That's called prepping.
I store mine close to me.
Yeah, I hear that, Vanessa. Trust me. I'm always buying shit for my fucking wife for her school.
Well, you know what? I was friends with the teacher, and she always pulled the whole, well, I'm a teacher, and I got to buy all this stuff for my classroom on my salary. The school doesn't supply it or whatever. And then you'd be like, well, why when my kids go to school do you need fucking 37 glue sticks from each fucking student?
Right.
Because kids eat them, they take them, they steal
Well,
them.
because a lot of the parents don't send any shit in. And so the people that actually can afford it have to pay for other people's kids is basically what we were told.
Well, that's fine. I mean, there are people who can't afford
Well,
it.
but it's not fine, I mean,
Well,
why should I have to pay for every
because
fucking
if it's a public school, number one, the kids shouldn't have to. First of all, public school, parents shouldn't have to donate anything. Okay,
Right.
Whether you have the money or not is irrelevant. Parents shouldn't have to donate anything in a public school. Okay,
But we do.
Listen to me. I know you do. All I'm saying is you shouldn't have to, and those
Right.
that don't donate into public schools shouldn't feel like they're supposed to. Okay, public school is just that, public. That school system is responsible for the fucking 9 million fucking glue sticks, the 82,000 pencils, and everything else that the teacher fucking needs.
Right.
That's
But then
why-
the teacher sends this list that they want 37 glue sticks. They want
Yeah, I know.
8
I
things
missed out
of
on the
Clorox wipes.
I missed
that?
out on the tie-dye shirt day because my parents wouldn't buy me a white.
Thank you, Vanessa. You're right. They should.
Yeah.
Now, something extra like that, yeah, I understand it. But when I look at my taxes that I pay, property taxes breakdown,
Stuff that they need.
school is the highest one on there.
Well, yeah. Yeah. Wait till I put a new
Well,
one in.
Which,
I was talking
which I
with
have
my
no
friend
issue
who's a
with,
teacher.
although I don't have children in school.
Isn't the lottery supposed to be a part of that?
But damn,
But she was like, you don't know what she's like, you don't know what it's like to have to spend your own money on supplies to do your job. And I was like, are you kidding me?
Almost everybody.
Yes. Thank you. How many mechanics do you know? Do you think that they get a job as a mechanic and the fucking company says, here's all your tools? No.
Right.
Most of the mechanics bring their own fucking tools.
Even
And they
iron
just-
workers.
People that work in beauty shops or whatever, barber shops, all their clippers or scissors, everything, that's all supplied by them. It's not done by the Great Clips or whatever.
Right.
You know?
The news, you got to have your makeup and different outfits every day,
Right.
and your shoes.
I mean, when I worked for the sheriff's office, they gave me a shirt and a pair of fucking pants.
The
I had
news.
to buy my duty belt and my fucking coat, my boots, my
You know.
handcuffs, everything, all my equipment that I wore, I had to buy myself.
Listen to me. Shalisa, watch the news. Watch the next time you watch the news, watch it all and wait for the credits. You know what it says? Wardrobe provided by yada yada yada. Makeup provided by yada yada yada. They don't pay for shit. And they make 6 fucking figures a year.
Yeah, like a lot of those news places, they wear like the girls will wear like yoga pants and a fucking sweatshirt when they come to work in the morning at 4 a.m. and then they go to the wardrobe department and they all pick out like every girl wears a purple dress and the guy on the screen will wear a purple tie. And they all
Yeah.
pick purple. You know, they all dress.
Right, Vanessa. You're right.
Vanessa Kitty says, okay, in the military, you buy your uniforms every time the generals changes them.
There you go.
I did not know that.
Yeah. So
Holy shit.
So
But
I don't feel for teachers when they say, "Oh, we got to buy this stuff for our classroom out of our own pocket." Just about everybody that fucking has a job has to buy shit for out of their own pocket. There's,
Yeah, but
unless
bottom
you're working at
line,
McDonald's, they supply your uniform for you.
but bottom line,
I
other than
don't- I
clothes
never
and your
paid.
thermos, they shouldn't have to spend a dime. It's a public school.
I never paid a dime for any of my jobs. Not one. You want me to wear a company shirt? Give me one. I'm not buying it.
Yeah.
You want me to wear a company hat? Give me one. I ain't buying it.
Well, what I'm saying, Mikey, is a lot of people would give you the minimum.
I'm just saying.
And you can't get away with doing your job with just the minimum.
But you can, right? I think the point is, and what Vanessa's saying, and right, is that can you teach without having all these donations from your parents? Of course you can. But you know what? You're trying to make it, they're trying to make it, as teachers, they're trying to make it more exciting, right? They're trying to make it to capture a kid or two or three or all of them to make it fun so that it's not one of these, I go to fucking school. I fucking hate school. It's fucking school. Yeah, so that's why they do all the. That's why I have an Amazon account just for my wife that I just fucking keep fucking throwing money into.
But what does eight containers of Clorox wipes and 12 boxes of tissues have to do with that?
Because my wife, and it has nothing to do with fucking. It has nothing to do with fucking. What do you call it? Okay. Then again, my wife teaches younger kids, so she's only like I think she's second graders. Okay, she fucking cleans everything. Where do you get your colds from? School and hospitals. Okay,
but I'm saying
schools and hospitals. Those are your most germ fucking collected fucking places you can ever go to. Is a school or a hospital. You want to catch a cold? Go to one of those places.
Graders.
Okay.
So but you cannot sit there with a straight face and tell me that there's not a closet at the school with a bunch of fucking cleaning supplies in it.
To be devil's advocate, I've seen teachers' closets at the end of the year,
Most certainly can.
and they still have 28 boxes of Kleenex in the closet at the end of the year.
Of course I can.
But I mean, every school has a janitor and there's a cleaning closet, right?
Right.
If you want to clean your room a little extra, go down to the cleaning closet and get you some rolled paper towels and some spray from the janitor and say, I just want to keep this in my room. Don't say that you need special scents and everything from Clorox for your wipes. That's just teacher's preference and being lazy.
I want lavender.
No, because my wife's not lazy. My wife's not lazy at all. I'm glad she's not hearing this. So here's the thing. It all depends what your janitor. Don't forget, she's at a private school. Okay, number one. So the janitor ain't the janitor you grew up with. The janitor is no longer responsible for setting this up, setting that up, doing this, doing that. Teachers all do that, or guys like me go in and do it for them. Okay, it's not their job anymore. What a janitor does today.
You're talking private school, though. I understand.
That's where my wife teaches.
Right, but I'm talking like my kids went to public school, and it used to kill me that they needed all these fucking supplies every year. And like Steven said, at the end of the year, the teacher still has all these leftover supplies.
Even at public school, okay. Let me say it this way: around here, the janitor no longer does. If the teacher says, "I need this," I'd like to have that cabinet moved from there to there, and empty the cabinet might weigh 300 pounds. No little tiny little bitch fucking teacher's gonna move that thing by herself. So she calls it janitor, right? Because that's his job, right? Nope, that ain't his job.
More.
So the janitors that we grew up with, and for those of us that went to public school, the janitors that we grew up with are no longer around here, anyways. Are no longer. There's janitors, yes, but they they take care of the heat. They take care of fucking broken windows. They take care of fucking all that bullshit. Inside the classroom is on the teacher.
Now, see, where I grew up, where I used to work, they had a moving crew who made an extra $1 an hour more, and they were the guys you called and scheduled to have your desk.
To have your desk right. And then the only thing they do in the summer is they'll move the desks all and things so the floors get all refurbished and nice. Other than that, my wife said to me, she says I think she said her janitor has to be around 75, 80 years old. I sent a junk guy over there because her principal, they had some desks. Remember the old metal desks that weigh like fucking 100 pounds?
Yeah.
They had a bunch of those to get rid of. And I said to her, I said, Gina, is there anybody there to get them anywhere near the door? And she says, yeah, there's a couple of male teachers here that can help us move them. I said, get them to the door and I'll get a guy I'll send a guy down there to get rid of them. She goes, how do you know what? I said, just shut the fuck. I'll take care of them. Just give me the time. They did it. I called the guy up because he comes to my place and takes all our scrap metal. So I said to him, hey, I says, hey, in Lowell there, where the what do you call it, school is? He says, like, yeah. Listen, I says, there's a bunch of desks, old metal desks. He says, yeah, where? So I just asked you if you know where they were. I said, be there at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. He said, I'll be there at 10. He showed up. They fucking... So, and guess where the janitor was? Nowhere to be fucking found.
Oh, hell no.
Well, I mean, do you remember, though? I mean, when I was a kid, if, the teacher would send one of the kids down to the janitor's closet, and you would go down and you get a roll of those fucking brown paper towels, put it under your arm, and you grab a clear spray bottle with that dark green shit in it.
Yep.
And you bring that back to the teacher, you hand it to her,
right,
and she would clean tables off and stuff.
Those days are over. And those disgusting desks we have. Remember those desks?
Nowadays, the janitor supplies are freaking watched.
Yep.
Because,
you can't take a trash bag.
Unscrupulous people
because we can't spend money on that because we're too busy spending on shit we're trying to hide from the public, right?
And by the way, let's not make fun of the teacher. Let's make fun of the fucking janitor. If the teachers are doing all this shit, what the fuck are they doing during the day? Oh, hang on, let me take that trash bag out of the barrel. Let me sweep a floor, and let me get paid $48, $49, $52 an hour to do it.
Hey, they're also spreading that sawdust shit on the puke on the carpet. Do you remember that smell when you walk into school and someone puked on the carpet?
I'll be right back, Steve. Yeah, then you fucking take your head because it's in the hallway.
On the carpet.
The word used to get me the worst was some kid puking on the bus.
Yep.
The whole bus would stink.
Yeah.
I remember putting my jacket over my face and like, oh my God.
Yes. I am definitely a sympathy puker. If I'm sitting next to somebody and they puke, I'm fucking puking. That's all there is to it.
I used to be really bad at it. I could just hear a 200 yards away and I would start gagging. When my daughter was born, I must have passed out because they removed my gag bag. After my daughter was born, I was good to go. It was awesome.
I was in the 4th grade and our cafeteria was basically the gym. They had like those fold-up tables that all got pushed into one corner of the gym and like a big curtain covered them. So they would pull those out after gym class and set the tables up. And then you walk through the gym, you go through the cafeteria, get your tray and go sit down. We were all sitting at these big, long-ass fucking tables that hold like 30 kids each fucking table, right? The kid at the end is eating like a bologna sandwich or something, and he's just like... And then he's like, bleh, and he fucking pukes all over his tray, right? I'm right next to him. Not only the puke and the smell, but like a little bit of his puke hit my hand.
Oh, God.
Oh, God.
And that was it. It was over. So I puked. That whole fucking table puked. It was like, blah, blah, like domino effect all the way down. Every kid at that table puked. And I just remember we were all sitting like outside they brought those, the chairs, from like music class or something and set them all in the hallway. And we all were out there with like washcloths wiping our face off and everything.
I can't. I puke and run. There ain't no way I could clean it up. No way.
Me either.
Takes a big jump.
Hey, I got a brother-in-law sees a little bit of blood, he'll pass out if he sees blood.
Oh,
Oh
really?
my God.
So I'll check my blood sugar and not even know that I'm doing it. And I'd be like, oh man. He'd be like, what? I'm like, look at that. And I hold my finger up a little tiny bit, when you prick your finger
Yep.
from checking your blood sugar, he'd be like,
That bad?
yeah, dude,
Wow.
you don't like the blood at all.
Like a fainting goat, huh?
Wouldn't
Now,
have to go to dialysis with me.
if he cuts himself, he's fine. He's like, oh shit, and that's fine. He's like, keep working,
Somebody
whatever.
else's.
But it's somebody else's blood, man. I don't know what it is. As soon as he
Okay,
sees somebody else's
Ohio.
blood,
How many times has he woke up around you with a penis drawn on his forehead?
I never drew a penis, but I would trace it on there.
Teabag.
I want to make sure.
Next
I wanna
time-
make sure it
next-
has all the. You got to trace it. You just can't draw one. I want it to look true to form.
Details.
Next time he passes out in front of you, I want you to stand there with your belt unbuckled until he focuses, and then buckle your belt as he's waking up.
Oh Lord, we did that to a
That'd
friend
cure
one time at a party. He passed out, and we took like a kibasi and shoved it down his mouth. And then when he woke up, we were standing there, and we like tucked the kibasi back in our pants. And he was like, "You sick motherfuckers!" He was like, he's ready to throw down, dude.
No, everything soft, warm, and fuzzy on your face.
We had to prove to him that it was a kibasi. He's like, "Look, it's just a fucking kibasi sauce,"
Look, I'll do it.
Right.
Wang a wang a wang a wang.
I seen a video today where the daughter got the granddaughter got the grandma or whatever about hey grandma, do you know if you like pretend to put like shake salt in your mouth when you're eating, you can taste the salt? She's like, what? So she's doing the whole. And she's like, you got to shake it harder and open your mouth more.
2
So
hours.
I'm like,
2 hours and 15 minutes. Ohio turned it one way or another, turned it into a food chat.
Yep.
I'm just talking about a practical joke to make a grandma look like she's,
Right.
performing a sexual act.
Vanessa, I couldn't wear cargo pants because when I went to bed at night, it would take me 25 minutes to clean all the pockets out. All the junk I would carry if I wore cargo pants.
Hey, who remembers the big trend back in the early 80s of the white painter's pants, where everyone used to wear the white painter's pants?
Yep.
With the black unbreakable comb down in the side pocket?
Yep. We did that in the 70s.
Well, I was saying it was early 80s, must have been 70s too.
Yeah, late 70s, painter's pants got huge. And then I go to work and I have to wear them for work. I was like, wow, why do I keep getting a flashback?
Yeah.
Home went from the back pocket to the cargo side leg pockets.
Yeah.
Yep. Big giant curve thing with the big giant.
Was that for like a
teeth.
brush or something? Is that what that pocket's actually for? Was it for like a paintbrush or something?
Yeah.
Well, didn't it used to be cigarettes went in your sleeve, and then one day they started making T-shirts with a pocket?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're that old.
Look at fucking
I used to put down my
goddamn
pants.
Mike of the North there getting ready to go out on an
Dude,
expedition.
it's fucking cold outside. Listen to me. It's 17 fucking degrees and the wind's blowing. So ambient temperature is 17 degrees. Now the wind's blowing.
Mike, this is February. On a normal year, it would be 0 out.
No, not here. We did that in January.
Yeah,
I just want to see him go. Coo, 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 coo. Coo, 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 coo. Hey, take off there, Hoser Mike.
Those two guys ruined Canada, or our view of Canada.
Yeah.
I am authorized to wear to teach math. I laugh hysterically at them. No
Hey,
shit.
put on my toque.
No shit for nothing.
Take off, you hoser. I like in the movie when he said, I'd kiss you right now if I didn't have puke breath. Remember he drank all that expired chocolate milk?
Oh.
Had mouse in a bottle so he could get free beer.
Right.
Redneck Prepper, what's up?
Hey, Prepper.
I have a friend that has an Elsinore beer T-shirt.
Oh yeah. Love the name of the dog.
I bet you them guys are on YouTube. I should do a binge watch.
Yeah, they're funny.
The movie,
Stump
the Strange
Greenwood,
Brew movie
SC,
is on
what's
there
happening?
for sure.
They started out on the radio too. I remember hearing them on the radio doing their bits.
Yeah.
First of all, fuck face. I'm not a cocksucker. Second of all, I'm not dressed for it today. I only have one shirt on. I don't have long johns on. Okay.
Highlighter.
And so, right, I'm a highlighter today. And so, yeah, so I'm not a cocksucker. So go fuck.
I don't understand why you don't. I don't
Who are you
understand
talking
why
to?
you don't open that
Stop.
door right beside you and
Oh.
just go into the garage.
That's not the garage. That's the regular basement. It's fucking colder in there.
Oh,
And I can't because the lady that's next, what do you call it? Always smell it. She'll fucking start crying.
oh, got you. Damn rules.
Why don't you just grab a
'Cause I'm
set
the
of
only one
balls
with
and just
two
smoke
floors.
right there where you're at, man?
Well, yeah,
Better that way. Better.
because I like my balls right where they sit. I'm the only one with 2 floors. Everybody else only has 1 floor. You know what I mean?
Oh, really? You
Yeah,
got
I'm the only-
the executive suite.
I got
eh?
the fucking townhouse
Yeah.
suite. But I pay for it too. You
Oh,
know,
sure.
And I'm the only one with a washer dryer hookup too. They all go to the fucking laundromat or they
Yeah,
fucking use
now
one
he's
of
just fucking bragging.
yeah, fuck them all. Fuck them all, man. It's all about me. Hey, Stump, fuck you. I was looking up your town today too, you asshole.
What was that show? Moving on up.
East side.
To the east side.
Nope. Now she's on her fucking Chromebook last night or whatever the fuck she calls this stupid little thing about this big, and she's fucking going through her thing. And she goes, "Oh, honey, this house is." I said, "You want to look for houses? Hang on a second. I get on YouTube and I'm like," Chew. She goes, "No." I go right to Maine, like fucking way to fuck up in no man's land, you know. And she's like, "I'm not living way the fuck up there." She's like to say hi to people. You can say hi. Just drive 30 miles. You know. But she wants to move, so I said, "That's a good thing."
Oh, you going up to the next state, are you?
I hope so.
Just rent a place without her knowing it and just get her in the car and drive her around a minute, confuse her, and then
She just
line up there.
she just doesn't want to go out in the boondogs.
No, I
And
understand.
I said, "That's
You gotta,
fine."
you gotta go little by little.
I says to her, "But babe," I says, I don't want to go where there's 9 million people either.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Explain it to her like this, man. Be like, we're in Massachusetts, which is equal to like, East Germany or West Germany. And you're just trying to get across the border into like Yugoslavia where you got a little bit more freedom.
She said the first words out of her mouth to us. She says, "I suppose we go to New Hampshire. You're gonna buy every fucking gun known to man." That's not every one of them, but just the ones I can. Just the ones that are legal in the state of New Hampshire.
Why worry about being fucking legal?
You know. I mean, I can move out to the western part of the state. It's beautiful. The western part of Massachusetts is absolutely beautiful. But she don't want to do that either. And by the way, it's still in Massachusetts. So but I'd rather go north. For lots of reasons. But I keep trying to tell her that, I says, don't forget, I says, New Hampshire may not have state sales tax, I says, but they make it up. They don't have excise tax. They don't have excise tax on your vehicles, but they make it up. I said, so just keep that in mind. Fucking New Hampshire, live free or die state. You just can't smoke pot.
Yeah.
Hey, Stump, I was doing a thing.
That's the devil's lettuce, man.
I didn't realize. So I was, I was doing this thing on. I was looking up like hog hunting and shit, and so I looked up this map on. I mean, they have some spotted here and there, but I mean, for a lot of hogs, and they have them up until you get to Virginia. There's places in Virginia that have them a lot, but anything north of that it's scattered. It isn't like it is near where you are, the rest of the fucking South, in the Southwest. So yeah, I was looking at stuff and I'm like, well, does Stump have a lot of hogs down here? And I look at the fucking map like, holy shit. Because they do it by county, so now I'm on Google Maps looking where I know where he is, but I don't know what county he's in, so I gotta look up his county.
I do, been there. Whoop, whoop.
But, yeah, no, it's cool. In North Carolina, they don't have a closed season on them. As long as you have a hunting license, you can fucking it's open season.
Broke bread with that man and his lovely wife.
And I just found out too. I was just read a thing that what Vanessa just wrote about the taxes. You know what's weird?
Oh, I can tell you a whole lot of weird things.
A lady lives here in my town. She has to pay $6 a year to the city of Lowell because part of her land is in the city of Lowell and the rest of it is in Drake.
No kidding.
I says, I thought there was a thing where they stopped doing all that bullshit. And they used to, I want to say they used to give you, like if it was half and half, right? Like let's say you had an acre, half your acre was in fucking Drake and half your acre was in Lowell. You got to pick where you wanted your kids to go to school and all that bullshit.
Right.
Whether you know what I'm saying?
Damn, Stump. He said a 413-pound hog was shot last week right behind his place.
He must have smelled good. Yeah, so I was looking up places to public places to go. But yeah, so she has to pay $6 a year or something like that to the city of Lowell for taxes.
Like a token, whatever. $6.
Forget that they're there.
I'm like, I'd like to know what they're gonna do if you don't pay, because they can't take your house because your house is in Drake.
No, they'll just go and they'll take a backhoe and dig that corner of the land off that's touching and call her good, put up a fence. Oh, sorry to hear that, Gunpowder, but bless your heart. That's awesome. Bless your heart in a good way. That's awesome.
Yeah, Gunpowder, they fucking lie. Don't worry about it.
54 days now. That's awesome. No nicotine.
Good for you. I can't go 54 minutes when I'm awake.
Yeah, they say nicotine's harder to give up than heroin.
Yep. I knew a guy.
I have a buddy of mine I'm a witness to that.
Yep. Buddy of mine fucking for 20 fucking years. 20 years he did heroin. First of all, he did heroin for 20 years. That's a miracle in and of itself. And he didn't kill himself.
Yeah.
Okay. And then he quit drinking. And then he quit smoking. And he says to me, he says, Mike, he says, I'd rather go fucking get sick all over again coming off the heroin. He says, I'd rather go and fucking get all pissed off that I can't drink anymore. He says, I never try to fucking quit smoking ever again. I mean, I know people that quit smoking. I know people that haven't smoked in 40 fucking years and they still have a pack of cigarettes in their fucking pocket.
Vanessa just said she bought a pack in November and hasn't opened it yet.
I quit smoking in 2012. It took me 3 days to quit and haven't touched one since.
Nice.
You weren't a real smoker then.
Oh, the fuck I wasn't, dude. I was smoking 2 packs a day from the time I was 14 years old. And
Damn.
I quit when I quit when I was 38.
They just do that.
Some
And-
people can do it, some can't.
I've been
Well,
smoking
I
for
mean,
44 years. This summer,
it was tough, man.
44
It
years.
felt like I was coming off of some type of fucking hard drug or something.
Yeah, you
So I
were.
had
You're
headaches
coming
for
off
about
of
3
fucking
after
the
the third
chemicals
day,
that are in
man.
it.
After the third day, I woke up and was like, man, I feel pretty good today. And I didn't even fucking crave it. It just, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, my wife, she's been trying to quit for years, and she'll go for a month or two and then get stressed out and fucking smoke a cigarette and be right back on them again.
I'll be
Nicotine,
Vanessa, which one you want, honey? Which migraine one you want? My daughter's on migraine medicine.
nicotine is one of the only drugs that you take that your brain will keep producing more and more receptors for.
Yeah.
And it makes you want more and more.
What do they call them? In your brain? Amafordins? What the fuck?
I don't know the technical.
Yeah.
You're
right.
They suck it up and make you feel good.
Yep.
So-
And the other thing too, Stevie, I think is that I think for some people that they're allergic to the 385 fucking chemicals that are in a cigarette because you do the nicotine patch, you're getting your nicotine, so your craving shouldn't be there, right? Bullshit.
Yeah.
Bullshit. I'm
You're
telling
right.
you. I think it's the
Mine
fucking.
was actually trying to have something in my hand. I carried
Yeah,
an ink pen in my hand constantly. Yeah,
That's me.
constantly had an ink pen in my hand. But hey,
I'll light a
Stevie,
cigarette and just hold it in my hand till it goes out and just
right.
hold it.
Oh, dude, I was the king of lighting a cigarette and having it in your mouth while you're doing something else, like working on something, and having a fucking cigarette just hanging from your mouth.
I love trying to do that, but it drives me insane. I'll take
Get smoke in your eyes and shit. Right when you're reaching in there to try to put a screw on a bolt or something,
So-
you're like, oh fuck, you're smoking.
So
Yeah.
I had to be a dick, man. Somebody made a comment about on the video with the gun, and they said, if you're not going to use a safety, why even have it on a gun? And it just kind of irked me a little bit. So I had to reply. I said, because I didn't design the damn thing. I'm just smart enough to use a firearm without shooting myself.
Or lucky.
Hey, Gunpowder, I'm with you, especially with the coffee. If I have a coffee, it's like when I drank booze, right? When I drank booze, I could smoke 3 packs in a night, let alone a fucking day. It was just the way it went. But the weird part is that if I'm watching the TV, or if I'm watching YouTube, whatever I'm doing, if I'm sitting in the chair, I'll be like, shit, I haven't had a cigarette, and I'll go out and have one. You know what I'm saying? But if I'm at work, be back, I'm going out to smoke. Be back, you know, I smoke more out of the house than I do while I'm in because I don't smoke in my house anyways, but you know what I'm saying?
I can go to somebody's
smoke more
house
away from home than I do at home.
I can go to somebody's house and visit for 2 or 3 hours and not even think about having a smoke. It's weird.
As soon as you get in your car and you're ready to leave, you're going to light one up.
But I get in my car, forget it.
Hey,
Yeah.
Mikey, you know if you poop at work for 15 minutes every day at the end of the year, you have been getting paid for 40 hours to poop?
Yeah.
Awesome. That's reason to get a job right there.
But I have to ask you guys a question when it comes to that firearm thing that I just talked about. Do you put your gun on safety every time you switch a mag?
No.
I don't with my AR.
Are you with a pistol? I mean, shit, I don't have the only pistol I have that has a safety on is my fucking 1911.
If it's empty, I don't because you can't rack the slide with the safety on.
Right, what I'm saying, but that was that single shot. It's a single shot gun. I put the round in, closed the chamber, and I pulled up and shot. And he's like, if you're gonna have a safety on a gun, why not use it?
Good one, redneck prepper. He says he smokes more when he's awake than when he's sleeping.
I will tell you one thing that drives my buddies crazy when we go hunting. From the time we get out of the truck in the morning. I get out of the truck like when we went muzzleloader hunting. I don't put my fucking safety on ever. When, you know, like I'm walking through the woods or walking up the trail or anything like that, my safety's never on.
Is the hammer cocked on your muzzle loader?
Even when I went, sometimes, even when I went, even if I was using my shotgun, I always took my safety off. And
I use a safety if I'm walking or something like that.
It's not that I don't think to do it. It's just that I don't, you know, 99% of the time I'm by myself to begin with. So
when you do shoot yourself, there's nobody to help you get out of the woods.
Well, I don't figure out how I'm going to shoot myself sitting there or standing there, whatever I'm doing. So, you know, if I'm sitting in a chair, or if I'm sitting, I don't really normally go.
Hang on, let me get this straight, because I know you, Mikey. So if you're sitting there and if you're sitting there leaned up against a tree, deer hunting with a muzzle loader, you said there's no chance of you shooting yourself. I'm going to call bullshit on that. You know why? Because I know you.
Okay.
Because you're probably going to be like this.
Yeah.
And then you're going to go, oh shit! You wake up and boom, shoot your fucking toe off.
Okay. Well, that I would almost agree with you there. But I don't even hold my gun when I'm sitting there. I'm looking around or whatever with my eyeballs, and that thing's across my lap. If it goes off, it's going off to the left. You know what I mean? The bullet's going that way.
Yeah.
So
I know what you mean. But I'm saying, but when I walk the trail and stuff, like if I got my shotgun, I'm walking the trail, I have the safety on.
I don't.
But this video, man, I'm in the backyard, which is considered the range, you know, downrange, and I load it, turn it, and pull it up and shoot it, all in that fucking motion. Why the fuck will you need a safety on for that? It's just fucking YouTube safety Nazis. You know what I'm saying?
Joe's always up, kid.
I can't stand it when people always have to comment about safeties. And
Joe B said he'd use one on his Canik if he could find it.
There's not one on Canik. It's just got the trigger dingus is all it is.
He's being funny. He's laughing out loud.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying. Now, when I shoot my AR, I've got the habit of, like, you know, because you're at the range or whatever, you shoot it, boom, 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 and you stop because you want to check your target. Flip, boom, with your thumb, safety goes on, set your gun down, or whatever, you know.
Well, yeah.
Pull out your scope and, you know, look at your finding scope.
But that's different than being by yourself out in the woods, though, or at home, or you know what I mean.
The thing is, by yourself out in the woods, you're more likely to trip and fall and jam the butt of that gun into the ground.
Yeah. Or the barrel. You know how many times I've seen people trip and fall and stick the barrel down in the mud and then not even clean it out?
Yeah.
And I think they're going to shoot it at some animal here in 10 minutes from now.
And what gets me when you're walking through the woods, if you're in the thick stuff, is vines grabbing your gun. Little freaking grapevines and stuff.
I hate when one of them vines snags your fucking toes on your boots.
Poor Susie took a tumble up at the homestead about a month ago, or maybe 2 months ago. It was an old fence wire that was sticking up out of the lawn and then back in on both sides. I can't believe we didn't get it with the mower. Man, she got her toe caught under that. What? Luckily, she got her hands out.
Or when someone cuts down like a real small sapling tree or whatever, about this big around, and it's got a stump on it about that big, but there's leaves all over it, and you're walking through, and you kick that and fucking trip and fall on that.
Go trapping beaver one time when they got all the brush, like 6 inches tall with a sharp point on it. That makes you a little nervous.
Have a good one, Stump.
Makes me nervous being around certain cops when acorns are falling.
If anybody hasn't seen that video, go look it up. Just type in acorn cop on YouTube.
Yeah.
Fucking hilarious in a scary kind of way.
I don't know, man. I just hate all the safety sallies on YouTube, dude. I mean, it's like every video you watch, somebody always, like, you know, the first thing they do, okay, go check. You know, make sure
They do
it's
that,
all clear.
so they do all that so they won't get their video taken down from YouTube.
Yeah, but back in the day, you didn't used to have to, and people still did it. You know what I mean? And because people were saying in the comments, you
Yeah,
didn't even check if that gun was
On the
loaded.
on the other hand, I do get upset if we're like we were at camp, I would beat the fuck out of somebody, because he was just sitting there and he fucking got the gun pointed at me, and I got a little pissy. I know the thing was unloaded. I watched him unload it and everything like that. It's just
Right.
I don't give a fuck if it's unloaded or not. You point a gun at me.
Right. I mean, I worked at a gun store, and it's like, you know, I know the gun's
You're gonna get
empty.
fucking hurt.
I check it before I hand it to
You
you,
know?
but yet you don't grab the gun and point it right at me. You know what I mean?
yeah.
I mean,
You don't know how many times I had people, you'd pull a gun out from underneath the cabinet, pull it back, look at it, you know, drop the slide, turn it safe direction, hand it to them. And the first thing they do is they pick it up and go, oh, wow. And they point it right at you.
Yeah.
You're like, what the fuck, dude?
Right.
Get
Give me
out of
that
the
damn
store.
thing.
yeah,
I
no,
think Alec Baldwin needs to take a couple of lessons.
Bingo. I heard they were bringing up new charges on him, by the way.
Yeah, probably.
Well, they should, you know, just because he's a fucking star and we all know who he is, doesn't give him any special treatment in my book.
Well, here's the thing with that, though. You know what I mean? Is they're filming a movie where they point guns at people to, you know?
I really don't. I feel bad for him, to be honest with you.
It used to be they didn't do that. They wouldn't directly point a gun at you. It just
If an armorist gives you a gun that's on a movie set, okay, and it's the armorist's job to make sure it's you know it's what do you call a bullet and blah, 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 and all that.
Yeah,
whatever the armorist, right?
It should have been a prop
That's a
gun.
prop
That's
gun.
the problem right there. Is what's
Okay.
a real gun doing on a movie scene?
So it's the armorist's job to do that. Now, do you want to put some of the blame on him because it was in his hand? Blah blah blah. I don't know, but you know what?
I feel bad for him.
If I hire
somebody
somebody to be my safety net, and you're the armorist, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm going to put it on the armorist.
There's a couple of details about that whole thing that you're not hitting on. First of all, Alec Baldwin was the king honcho of the movie.
Yeah, he was the producer in
He
charge of everything.
allowed a real gun and live ammunition on his movie set. The armorist was a ditzball who got appointed to that position because the real armorist quit because of safety violations on that movie set. They were going out in between shots, loading a real gun with real bullets and target practicing out behind the lot. He screwed the pooch on the whole deal.
So whether he pointed at somebody or not, he's still 100% liable for what happened on that set.
Absolutely. He was,
I'm
what do you
not
call
saying
him? He wasn't the director. He was the high honcho. But the original
I'm not saying he should
armorist quit because of safety issues and they wouldn't listen to him.
I'm not saying he should be, absolved of all his charges or anything. I just feel bad. That's all I'm saying.
No, I don't think he should be put in
Oh, yeah.
prison for 20 years because
I
it wasn't premeditated. It was an accident.
no,
that he
Right.
was
Yeah, I feel bad
responsible
because he
for.
killed somebody too. I mean, how would you feel?
Oh,
I mean,
I don't think I could handle it.
Let's just put it in a different perspective. What if you went to a county fair and they had that little game where you shoot the fucking star out with the BB gun, whatever. You know what I'm talking about?
that's not a BB gun, but go ahead. That's an air gun, kid. That's fucking full auto.
Okay, whatever it is, but I'm saying it shoots BBs.
Shoots
You'll
BBs.
kill yourself. You can kill someone with that thing.
So let's
Yeah,
just
it
say
does, it
you're
does
there
shoot.
and you're shooting something, a gun that's for a target at a game to win a fucking stuffed animal, right?
Yeah, I got you.
And they switch, the fucking carny switch. Take a break, Tim. Okay, Bill, blah, blah, blah. And then you give him your $2 to play the game, and the guy goes, here, try this one. And he hands you a fucking gun, and you go, kabloom, and you blow some fucking kid away that was standing behind the game. with his mom eating an ice cream cone. You know, ultimately, it's the fault of the fucking people running the carnival, you know, for letting all that shit happen. You killed the kid because you're the one that pulled the trigger, but you didn't do it on purpose. You know what I mean? You have to look at things
No,
different ways. I mean,
uh,
and you would live with that the rest of your life, that you killed some kid
Oh,
because
that'd be
some other
horrible.
person handed you a gun that was loaded, that you were
Oh.
in your head said, this is a game that I'm playing. You know what I mean?
I mean, people have brain farts all the time, and
Right. I know. That's
and
what most accidents.
whether it's with a gun, whether it's with whatever, it just doesn't matter. They have brain. My neighbor
And another thing on the movie
My
set, if they said it was for the effect of seeing the fire come out of the gun and shit, why didn't they turn the camera on and the camera person step aside? Simple.
my neighbor upstairs, they were going to Florida, and she usually keeps her. She's got a couple, but she usually carries a 380. But she usually puts it not in her purse. She usually puts it in a backpack. Well, don't they go to fucking Florida? It's just habit, right? She grabs the fucking backpack, and they're going through the fucking thing, and there's the fucking 380, and they're bigger in the thing. So she's like, "Oh, I didn't." She got a license taken away for a year.
Oof.
Yeah. I says they're not gonna. I says don't be surprised if this state doesn't give it back to you.
I mean, what? I don't understand. What was the?
She forgot she had her
She
gun
forgot she had her gun in a backpack.
in a backpack.
She goes to go to Florida. She's walking through the fucking metal detector. She puts the fucking.
Oh, she's at the airport.
Yeah.
Okay.
She goes to the fucking.
I didn't hear you
puts
say
the-
she went to the airport. I'm
she
thinking.
puts the thing through the metal.
I was thinking that they were in Florida. I'm like, who
No,
cares
no,
if you
no.
got a gun in your backpack? I
So-
don't care.
So they, they bring them in the other fucking room, and that's, state police are in there, So there's no sweet talking some town guy, or city guy. And they went in and just like, well, why would you bring it? She says, I'm sorry. She says, I apologize. She says, I just had a brain fart. Da, da, da. She said, he says, and there's nothing really else in his bag other than, she had little knickknacks or whatever. She says, I know. She says, I carry that bag with me every day. She says, I empty it and I take, put my gun in my safe and all that. She says, for whatever reason, I had it in there and I just didn't. She says, I'm very sorry. She says, I wasn't trying to do anything, bad, And he says, well,
So she just had a momentary lapse of irresponsibility.
Right. So he says, so they confiscate it, of course. And she says, okay, I'm going to Florida. You confiscate it. She says, I'll get in touch with you when I come back. And they got in touch with her. They didn't fine her. They didn't like arrest her. They didn't do any of that bullshit. But the state of Massachusetts took her license away for a year.
I'd have to crack a joke. Oh, thank God it wasn't my box knife. Of course, then you get thrown down in strip search.
Of course,
yeah.
Like I said to her, I says they took away your license for a year. She says, yeah. I said, did they physically take it out of your purse? She said, no. I says, then don't worry about it.
Yeah, but if she gets caught with that gun, and
she can still buy ammo. Yeah, but she can still buy ammo and go to our public, what do you call it, changes fucking rules. I can't get in the fucking gun range anymore down the street.
But when they look it up on the computer, it's going to say suspended.
County line
Logan, what's up, brother?
No, but that's why I said she can still buy ammo and she can still go to the gun range that we have, the public gun range we have. They didn't care who you were. You can just walk in and buy their ammo, use their guns and all that bullshit. Well, now they want you to have a fucking license to be in there, which sucks. But
I couldn't live like that.
So, because I used to go in there, and but now I can't.
So I mean, talking about being irresponsible with guns and stuff. Since there's 4 of you on the panel from the great state up north there, What do you guys? What are your thoughts on that mother being charged and getting found guilty on that of that school shooter?
They
I
were,
In
I mean,
that case, I followed it quite a bit, and they were pretty fucking neglectful parents.
very irresponsible. Yeah.
yeah, at first I was like, why are they being charged for something they didn't do? You know what I mean?
Because the kid was a minor.
Right, but they don't charge parents for a minor when they go do a drive-by shooting.
They charge them. They charge for drunk driving when they kill somebody in Massachusetts. I can tell you that much.
Yeah, and if you're
100% neglect, right?
So
if your 16-year-old gets in a car wreck, you're responsible.
you're on the hook for it.
Are you going to go to jail for it?
Would they just send somebody to jail?
So if my
Just send
son,
somebody to jail.
so if my son is out in the car
Yes.
and he has an accident and he kills somebody, I'm
Yes.
going to jail for it.
You could. Yes.
You're going to be liable, that's for sure.
You definitely
Liable and going to jail are two different things.
You could. Yes. I'm telling you, here in Mass, anyways. Yes, you could. There was a chance that you could go to jail.
See, I think that's a slippery slope, man.
I don't.
I really do.
Because they're minors. Once they're 18, they're on their own. You're responsible for your own children.
So at the Super Bowl parade, why aren't the parents in jail?
I don't know.
It depends.
Because they're not. Where was the Super Bowl held?
Well,
I didn't watch
Kansas City.
I don't know where it was.
It was in Las Vegas.
But the parade was in Kansas City.
All right, so I don't know the laws in Kansas City.
Right, but I mean, if they're gonna push that Michigan law, that law that they used in Michigan, if they're gonna push that as a gun control thing across the nation, why aren't we holding the parents for these two juveniles that shot people up?
Exactly.
Why aren't they in jail too right now?
This all started when there was, I think, 2 or 3, might have been more. I know it was 2 or 3 anyways.
Give me a second. P&J's Homestead Adventure. Nice to see you. How you doing?
Hey, P&J Homestead.
Susie went to bed, by the way.
When they sued, there was a couple of families that sued Marlboro because they got cancer from smoking. And then people tried to do it after that, and they didn't allow it because they didn't think it was right because, they're not lighting the cigarette for you. Okay. Now here in Massachusetts, they were thinking, I don't think it's going to go anywhere, but they were thinking about if you and I get in an argument, I shoot you. Not only am I going to jail, right? But now they want Smith & Wesson.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
Yeah, no, I'm not for that.
So
at
it's the same thing, right? However, on a way different scale, right? But as parents, we're responsible for our children. If they're minors and they're drinking, it's still on us. Or if they're minors and they shoot somebody and they took that gun out of my house, it's still on us. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. What if they didn't take that gun from your house? What if they stole it from somebody else?
I don't know. Maybe that's the difference that'll be from you going to jail and not going to jail.
Well, they actually bought him that gun.
You know what I mean?
And he was underage.
That banana head parent, the mother of the one of the kids that did the school bombing, right? They're making the bombs in the garage. She's walking in and out of that fucking door every day. Didn't question those fucking people, those kids.
Yeah.
Okay. Saw everything and all that, and she didn't question a fucking thing. Absolutely, they're responsible for that. Absolutely. 100%. What's her name? She's dead, but oh well. But the one down there in fucking Connecticut, right? That to this day, the gun laws worked in the state of Connecticut because he tried to buy that fucking gun to Bass Pro and they wouldn't let him. All right, so he used his mother's gun. All right, killed her, then went to the school and killed all the kids and everybody. Okay, so, but if she was alive, well, he was 18, so that's a little different. But if he wasn't 18, yeah, see you later, bye. See you later. I don't have a problem with that.
Even though he broke into the safe? Well, he had the number.
Well, first of all, he didn't break into the safe. She would take him to the gun ranges and stuff.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing illegal about that.
He had fucking mental issues.
Well, that's also to be determined by.
It was determined. She had mental issues and she couldn't do anything to him because she was 18 years old.
And she had also called many times to get the police there to take care of him.
Okay, and here's the problem with that whole fucking thing that bothers me the most. You know, and I yell at my mother all the time about this because when she says, I just don't want it, because I keep telling my mom, I should have a gun in the house. I don't want a gun in my house. She said, I grew up with guns in my house. I don't want one. I says, yeah, whatever. and I'd say to my mother, I said, let me ask you a question. She says, what? You gave birth to 6 kids. She says, yeah. I said, if one of us was off, if one of us had, and legit off, I'm not talking about, you're crazy. I'm talking about legit, documented, legit, off in the head. I said, how many guns would have been in this house if one of us was off? She says, not one. I said, okay then. I said, okay, so let me ask you a question. She said, what? I go, the mother that knew her son was off when he was 14, 15, 16, 17, couldn't do anything about it when he was 18, okay? She was responsible for that fucking shooting. Now, does it mean that he wouldn't have done it on another day with another, who knows? Who knows? Who knows? But it wouldn't have happened that day. It wouldn't have happened that day if she took every gun she had out of the fucking house and gave it to a friend and said, hey, hold these until I can figure out what to do with him.
But didn't he kill her and break into the safe to get that gun?
He didn't break into no safe. Those guns, he killed.
I thought he did. I thought he
killed his
did.
mother, took the keys and fucking opened the safe. He didn't fucking.
So he committed a crime in order to get the gun, though.
He killed her first.
That's a crime.
Yeah.
That's murder. He committed murder in order to get his hands on a gun.
Okay. But guess what? The gun shouldn't have fucking been there, locked or not locked.
Where's the law on that? There's no law on that.
There isn't a law. Morals.
There's
your fucking brain.
Case closed then. There's no law saying you can't do it.
Okay,
case
but
closed.
listen to me. Listen to me. So you're telling me, oh, as long as it's not a law, you can do what you can do. Really? Because guess what? Now, here's where you're going to lose your shit. Here's where you're going to lose your shit. Because you said 19 million times, just because you can doesn't mean you have to. You're the guy that said it, right?
I don't recall what saying. What
you go here. Let me refresh your memory. You know all those guys that fucking film all the cops and all that bullshit, and they walk up and down the street with their guns in plain view, and you're like, you can do that. It's not a law. You're not breaking the law, but you shouldn't. Why? There's no law. They should be able to do what the fuck they want. That's not the same thing.
Well, I'm saying
yes
there's no laws. Yeah,
yes
I'm saying there's no law, so you can do it.
Yes or no? But then you
I'm saying there's no law, so you can do it.
Right. But you always add, because every time we've ever brought that subject up, you've always added, well, there's a bunch of shit that just because you can doesn't mean you have to.
Well, I agree. Yeah,
okay,
I agree with that.
So just because it's not a law doesn't mean she shouldn't have got rid of the fucking guns.
That's your opinion. And that's what I had on that other situation's opinion.
Right.
I don't carry a fucking rifle on my back and walk down the street. Even though I can, I don't.
Right, buddy. Right. But what my point is, it's all morals. It's how your moral structure is. So if you think it's okay to have
but you're forcing your morals on somebody else.
Right on, Redneck Prepper.
I'm a parent, right?
So am I. But I'm saying. But you're saying she shouldn't have. But there's no law saying that she had to.
If I know one of no, I didn't say there was a law that says she'd have to.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. There's no law, so she didn't have to keep.
The point is, if there's no law, they can't charge somebody with a crime because it's not against the law to be an idiot.
Right. Exactly. She's an idiot for doing what. Right. So she suffered already for the
parent of that kid that shot up Oxford School. Used to leave that kid. They neglected the shit out of that poor kid. I feel sorry for the kid. I don't agree with what he did.
He didn't steal that gun from his dad. They purchased
No,
that
they
gun for
bought
him.
it.
For
They
him.
bought
Yeah.
it for him.
That's different. That's
Correct.
different.
Yeah.
So
They
he
bought
didn't.
it for
He
him.
didn't kill his mom in order to get his hand. He didn't commit a crime in order to get his hands on a gun like the kid at Newtown did.
Right. But the point is, she's already dead, so they couldn't charge her if they wanted to.
Right.
But it's just, you know, so it's just one of those things where it's like having a safety on or off, right? It's the same thing. You know, it's you know, there's no law.
Choice.
Right.
But if you accidentally shot somebody and it was proven that the safety was off, you would be
screwed.
more
You'd be
liable
Yeah.
than if the safety was on.
Absolutely.
Now, if the safety was on and it went off, then they could charge the gun company.
But my question is, we've seen this happen in Michigan, and they're talking about it nationwide. Why aren't the parents in Kansas City in jail right now for the 2 underage kids that shot up 22 people?
First of all, it's a state law thing, not a federal law. So
I know.
it depends on their state.
But I think that I think we need to keep our eye on that Michigan law, because
it's in
I think
effect
that's going to
now.
the Supreme. That one's going to the Supreme Court, man.
The new Michigan gun laws are in effect, by the way. If you got kids, you have to lock up your guns.
Well, didn't they try to charge her with that after they passed and made that a law? Didn't they charge? Like it happened. Then they created this law, and then they charged her with it.
That
And
I'm
then
not sure of, but I think you're right.
Yeah,
Which is
they charged her
bullshit.
with something that
What's
they're.
the law?
Do
How
what?
were they able to do that if it wasn't already a law?
Exactly. That was the whole point of it. How are you going to charge
Right.
somebody with something that's not even a law?
Yeah, because that makes no
You know,
sense.
Yeah,
You know,
that's like banning ARs and then charging all the people that already have them as criminals.
Right. So, yeah, it'd be definitely, like at first when I heard that they were charging her, I was like, why is she being charged with manslaughter? She didn't do a damn thing. Her son's the one that killed these kids. And then the stories come out that he asked for help and they neglected him for any help. He wrote down shit and notes. But I also am the type of person, I feel that school's just as responsible now, because
I do too. They didn't even search his
had
backpack.
they had him in the office with the backpack, and nobody
Never
fucking
looked
checked
through it. Yeah, because they were, protecting his privacy. It don't work in a public school. You don't have privacy. They can walk up and unlock your locker anytime they want to.
Yeah, but that's some masses like that.
Again, it's one of them things that happen where multi people screwed the pooch. And unfortunately, people paid for it with their lives.
I think it was New Hampshire. They had a house party, and the parents found out there was a party, and they didn't do anything to break it up. And so one of the kids left there, got in a car accident, and killed him. Didn't kill anybody else but himself. And so now his parents, well, they're suing civilly anyways, but his parents want him in jail because they didn't do, and because they're all underage, obviously, but his parents didn't do anything to break up the party, and they proved that they knew about the party. The problem they're having now is that, yep, they can prove that they can prove that they knew you were having a party, but can you prove that they knew that there was booze involved? And that's the fucking issue they're having now.
Right.
So it's a what do you call it?
Vanessa Kitty, are those new laws dependent on if there's a child in the house or not? Or are they just across the board law?
That's Connecticut.
Absolutely, Redneck Prepper. It's about mental health issues.
Yeah, but then you got people claiming HIPAA, when you try to do a background check and add that stuff for mental health to a background check.
I think that certain mental health issues should constitute you not having.
If you've ever been mentally adjudicated or sent to an insane asylum or whatever by a judge or
But the
something
problem,
like that, that should automatically show up in your fucking background check.
but
On your next check. When you run it, it should come up just like a crime does. Because it comes up that you were a felon or you had this crime, that should fucking come up too. On this date, you were mentally adjudicated by a judge, case number this. Boom. And that gets you, if you want universal background checks, let's start with just making the background check work.
I'm just talking generally about, and the problem with the hospitalization, the one I have is that they're scoping everything as a hospital thing, right? So if you go to if you spend 30 days at a detox, they're considering that hospitalization. That's not right.
No. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, right.
But that's the way the law is written.
Well, no, there's no law on it at all.
And
They're not putting it in the.
And they can't. You know what I'm saying? So.
It's all on the honor system. They ask you on the 4473, have you ever been mentally
No,
adjudicated?
I'm talking about the one they want to do in mass.
See, I don't know about that one. I'm just going by federal stuff.
I think it's wrong.
Yeah. But if you have realized that you had some type of mental problem and you've checked yourself in and you've gotten help on your own, and your doctor had released you and said he's mentally fit, then you should have no problem getting a firearm.
Yeah, if you're mentally fit. Absolutely.
But if you've been mentally adjudicated by a judge, and been sent in, instead of going to jail, they send you to an insane asylum for fucking 4 years or whatever. When you get out, you should not be able to get a gun.
Well, a lot of the problem is the people responsible for those records aren't uploading them to the background check people, and they're not doing their job correctly.
Right, I do understand that too, but mentally, like if somebody gets mentally adjudicated by a judge in my area, we'll say court,
that's federal, that's across the board,
right? That doesn't get uploaded because that's protected by HIPAA because it's a medical condition.
Wow.
Do you know
if you get charged with domestic violence, that goes right on there. I load that in. That's a crime. That goes on. That goes in to it reports to the Fed. That gets reported to the Feds.
Here's the one that gets me. They call it prohibited people from buying firearms. Here's the one that gets me, and they don't even ask questions. It just says it in bold face print. You can list all the stuff federally federally that you can't own a gun. Okay.
Yeah.
And you know what one of them is? Being dishonorably discharged from the military.
Yes.
Bullshit. I call bullshit.
But the thing is, usually to get a dishonorable discharge from the
you gotta do something pretty
military. Most times there's because they're crazy and they can't deal with it.
So my grandfather was in the Army and the Navy. He was in the Navy first. There was an issue where an officer walked in, and this is way back, like, in the fucking late 40s, 50s, whatever. All right. And there was an issue where something to do with an officer showed up with a bunch of privates or whatever the fuck you call them. And he was flapping his lip. Apparently been drinking, been flapping his lips, whatever. Anyways, long story short, my grandfather laid him out. Went on his fucking ass.
Okay.
Knocked him right out. They kicked him out. They disarmed.
He committed a crime. He committed an assault on somebody.
You ready? You ready? 6 months later, he's in the U.S. Army.
Out one door and in the other.
6 months later, he's in the U.S. Army. It's on. Yeah, it's on there but here's my problem. So what? You get dishonorably discharged from the fucking from the service, and that's no. I see it all. It has to be a certain thing. You know what I'm saying? And I don't call a fight. I'm sorry, I don't call a fight when you're 20 years old or whatever something good enough to fucking keep you from having a fucking gun.
But if it keeps somebody in a regular civilian, why shouldn't it keep a military person?
No, I don't think it should keep a regular civilian either. If I get in
okay.
a bar fight, when I was 22 years old, and again, because I don't know about across the country, but here in Massachusetts, if I can serve, if I could serve any more than a year and a half in jail for any crime, I'm not gonna get a fucking gun license.
Right.
So if I can put an assault and battery because I got in a fight, and I can serve more than a year and a half in jail for an assault and battery, I don't think it's right. So instead of doing it by the years you can serve, they should do it by the charge.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, if you punch an officer in the face when he walks in the door, you got a little mental issue.
I mean, because I've been charged with, I was charged with assault and battery and a police officer, and the charges got dropped in court. Okay, because it wasn't an assault. Okay, so let me say it this way. On paper, it was an assault because part of my body came in contact with law enforcement's body. Okay? So there's the assault or the battery, whichever one they fucking call it.
But you weren't convicted on that.
Convicted. Didn't even go in front of. I went in front of a fucking judge, and they threw it out that morning.
Threw it out. Okay, so that's not preventing you then.
Huh?
So that one wouldn't prevent anybody.
No. But my point is that it's shit like that. That is, you know what I mean? It's just fights or I'm sorry, it shouldn't be. They shouldn't be in there. They shouldn't be. You know, it's just how we feel. You know, I'm sorry, and I don't even care if I don't even care if I served a year in jail for a fight. It should because it was.
Well, you know what? I think we're on the same boat on a lot of things like that, Mikey. Because I believe that once you serve your time, if you did not use a gun to commit your crime, you should get your gun rights back.
Well, it all depends what the crime was, but yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Once you serve your time, though, you should.
Yeah, but either way, I don't.
And a lot of
people.
people.
If you're a serial rapist and you serve 30 years in jail, you shouldn't be able to come out.
No.
Right. Okay,
but the thing is,
if you're a serial rapist, you need your junk cut off.
Exactly.
The thing is, though, a lot of places, after you do your time, I think Texas is one of them.
They allow
you're allowed to own a gun as a felon in your home. You just can't. You just can't carry it like everybody else.
Right.
Because you do have the right to protect yourself in your own home.
I wouldn't have a problem with that at all. Ohio.
Say that again, Ohio. I missed it.
Okay.
If you're a what?
I think it's Texas that you are allowed to own a gun if you are a felon, as long as it's a crime that wasn't committed with a gun. You know, like
correct.
You know,
I think you're right. I think it is.
Or too much of a violent crime, but because you can get your gun rights back because the Second Amendment gives you the right to protect yourself in your home. So you won't ever be able to get a license to carry it, or you can't carry it constitutionally, like, you know, out on the street or anything like that, or open carry or anything. But you are allowed to have a firearm in your home to preserve your life, self-defense.
See, I think
it might be Texas that is doing that. I'm not sure.
That should be like a federal law, fucking Ohio.
It probably should be a federal law, but you know,
or there should be some kind of.
I'm sorry, but if Joe Bob Smith, who's an accountant for a company, you know, fucking embezzles, you know, $336,000 over a 10-year period, you know, I don't think he should lose his gun rights because he didn't, use a gun to, you know.
Yeah, it's a white collar.
But if you take a gun and run into a gas station and you only steal $20, but you shoot somebody, you should lose your gun rights.
I know a kid. I went to high school with him. He served 7 years on an armed robbery. You know what he did? drunk out of his mind, walked into a 7-Eleven. He put his hand in his fucking sweatshirt, and he went like this.
Give me all your money. Yeah.
They gave him $17 and change. So he did a 7-year bid for an armed robbery.
Yep.
And back then, just because it wasn't a gun, didn't matter. You know what I mean?
If you walk around with a sack of flour and you're selling it to people like it's cocaine or attempting to, you get drug charges.
Yeah. Yep.
All right, let's get out of here, folks. We've been on here a long ass time.
It's early yet.
Wow.
Really, yeah.
And that's pretty good. Shalisa made it up past 11 o'clock. Damn.
Stevie, I'm gonna run.
Must have had a nap today.
I'm gonna run because I know C-Man about us. Hey, I'll see you next week.
Bye, Mike.
Peace. Everybody on the outside chat, I want you to know we set a new record tonight. 551 comments. That's
Cool.
fucking awesome.
Cool.
That's because we were saying stupid shit that they had to rebut.
Thanks everybody for coming in. I had a ball. Uh-oh, I gotta find my thing. And we're out of here. Peace.
I don't know what the fuck just happened, but I don't really care. I'ma get the fuck up out of here. Shit,